Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Wanderer's Haven. This is another example of our We Get to Play episodes. Today, we're going to play a brand new fun game that hopefully you all will enjoy watching us play. I'm Kevin. I'll be the host today. And as you all know, I'm one of the team members of the production team over here, putting the games together. So I'll be your humble game master today. As I said, we are playing Ink, which is a game by Snowbright Studios. Ink is a really cool, exciting game where you actually play as characters in the afterlife. What's really neat is it really explores a aspect of characters that we don't really get to explore all that often. So we're going to do that today with 4 really cool people you see floating around me in the ether somewhere. Let's take a moment real quick to go around and let's have everybody just say who they are and just give us a quick little idea, because we'll discover more about these characters as the game progresses. But just give us a quick little idea of who you're playing today. So I'm going to start off with no stranger to the channel at all. You know him. You love him. He's been here for a lot longer than me. Jeremy. Hi, sir. How are you?
I was afraid you were going to say that. Hi, I'm
That's
Jeremy. You're making me sound old or something.
No.
I'm not even going to be a character in the game. I'm going to be playing myself in the game in the afterlife. Hi, I'm Jeremy. You can find me here on this channel as we stream things. You can also find me on Twitter at WHPubs and a plethora of other places. If you head to WHPubs, I have a link tree on there that shows you all the places. Head to WHpublications.com to see all of the things that I've been publishing lately. Did you want us to say who our character is?
Yeah, if you want.
I'm playing Silgar today.
Excellent. I love it. Very excited to see what Silgar is all about. So, excellent. Thanks, Jeremy. Let's move on down to, I'm not sure where we're positioned on the screen, so I'm just kind of probably going to be winging all over the place. Let's move on next to the next player who also has been here many a time. John, hi. How are you? You've got a very creepy individual behind you. Hopefully that will come
Super creepy.
So I love it. So, yeah, welcome back. Welcome back from across the metaphorical and literal pond. So, hello.
That's right. Hello. I am John, and been around. I'll be playing Doctor, and I'm like drawing a blank. I'm like, what was this guy's name? Cumbersworth, Dr. Reginald Cumbersworth the Fourth. That's right. Very, very properly long name.
I love it.
Proper for the side of the pond.
Definitely. Well, yeah, it's always good to have you back, my friend. And I'm sure we're going to get into all kinds of fun today. So. Shenanigans indeed. Alrighty, let's move on over to next player. Again, I don't know where we're at on the screen here, but let's go move over to Deb. Hi, Deb. How are you?
Hello, Kev.
Welcome
I'm great.
back.
It's so good to be back.
Awesome.
I am here on Wednesday nights with Kev and Jeremy playing Ystera, which is so much fun.
So good.
Today, I'm so glad to be playing this game. I'm really excited for it. I would be playing Agnes.
That's right. Yes, thank you. Well, it's great to have you back, Deb. I'm excited. I'm excited to see you enjoy this because I can tell you're going to be doing some cool stuff today. I have a feeling. I can feel my spider senses tingling. So thanks for being here. And finally, Sid. Hello. He's over there. And great shirt. I'm not sure. It's floral. Looks pretty cool. I dig it.
Yeah, it's a lot of flowers.
Yeah. Very cool.
I like it. A little bit different today. Hi.
Hello.
Sid, you can find me on the socials at _Sundance Sid. I'm here a lot. I love it. It's amazing. It's great to be here. Today I'll be playing Ferdinand R.C. Dubois, Esquire, the 7th. If Esquire and the 7th is really part of what he does or what his name is. But that's who I am. That's who I'll be playing.
I like it. Excellent. So thank you for returning as well. So as you can see, we got 4 great players, and I will be playing as everyone and everything else as I take on the role of the game master. So let's take a moment to everybody take a deep breath, because it will be your last for today as we dive over into the limbo world of Ink. As viewers, as an audience, what we will first see is the distant land is nothing but black, roiling black waters that churn with an unknown source. The waters give way to a series of small beaches and islands scattered across its surface. Beaches and waters that somehow intermingle, a monochromatic color that sort of betwixt the eye. As we draw closer to one of these said islands, we are going to find that there are 4 shapes laying upon the surface of one of its beaches. 4 shapes of individuals very different from one another. And as the first of these figures finds themselves awakening, their eyes open to a black sky, Deb, as Agnes awakens, you look around and you find you are not where last you remember. Instead, you are lying on a sandy beach. You look around and realize there are 3 other people here with you. Well, actually, 2 other people, and is that a bowl? You look around, trying to get your bearings about yourself. In the world of ink, you will manifest yourself as your spirit, which is basically represented by what you would remember or best proxy yourself by what you look like in the living world. So if you could tell us, what does Agnes look like? How does she appear in this moment?
Absolutely. Agnes is a little old lady. She has slightly blue permed hair. She's got sort of the bright 80s makeup on, overdoing it a little bit because she wants to look presentable. And she's wearing a bathrobe, and is, just, she looks a little frail, but she's got some gumption.
Excellent. I love that. I love that. Agnes, as you look down and you realize that your coloring of your skin, of your bathrobe, it's not got the color you remember. Everything is in shades of black, white, and gray, almost as if you've been turned into an old style, maybe perhaps 1950s television. Everything is just older. It's black and white monochrome colors. And as you realize, so is the beach, so is the water, so are these other 3 people here with you. The next of which awakens on the beach as well. Sid, what exactly does RC notice when he comes to, and what do we notice about him?
First thing RC notices. Did you say that was a bull and an old lady? So, very confused because there were neither a bull nor an old lady. Last he remembers. What you see is a fairly tall individual in finer wear, or at least that's what he presents. That's what RC would like you to think, that he's a more upstanding, upscaled individual than what he is. And just like gloves. So gloves. It's odd because usually you'll see stark white gloves with. I'm guessing it's grayscale now, but yeah, stark white gloves. With more of a butler look, but instead he just looks like an upscale individual that's just wearing gloves.
Absolutely. And yes, you see this elderly woman who is sitting there looking at you. You both meet eye contact for a moment. And before you both can speak, there is a 3rd figure that is lying on the sand between the 2 of you that comes to as well. John, please take a moment to tell us, what exactly does Dr. Reginald appear to be looking like when he comes to and finds himself in the ink?
Dr. Reginald Cumbersworth the Fourth is he's older, maybe in his late 50s, early 60s. Not probably as old as Agnes, but his hair is very white, and in a full Bernie Sanders level riot. And is wearing a lab coat over a very formal dress, maybe something from like the 1950s or earlier. Polished leather shoes, and spectacles at the end of his nose, and a very stern look on his face, kind of stiff in his posturing as he sits up to squint at the other 2, the beach, and the bowl.
Mhm. Absolutely. And as you three people look down to the bowl, you realize that you're all dressed differently from one another. Um, looks like you're all three out of sorts from one another, definitely not from the same time. That's weird. And you look down into the bowl, and as the three of you draw closer, you do see that it is, in fact, a glass fishbowl sitting on the beach next to the three of you. Within the glass fishbowl, a single form darts back and forth as it regains its attention. Silgar, Jeremy, what do they see as they look into the bowl in unison?
So I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm going beyond the bounds of the game, but I feel like this form isn't what Silgar views himself as, but before he wakes up, it would be what he appears as, because that was what he existed as. But as he wakes, the bowl and the goldfish inside begin to morph into something a little bit more amorphous, maybe a little less sure of what it looks like. It's kind of humanoidish, but it kind of swims along through the air, maybe?
Interesting.
Yeah. Since Silgar could never see himself, he has no idea what he looks like, but he always felt bigger and more important than a goldfish. Being, well, we'll get into that later, but, being the goldfish that he was. And so it's not quite as blatant what Silgar is, but you definitely catch moments where the amorphousness settles into the shape of a goldfish.
Interesting. Yes. This vaguely humanoid shape that does seem to have some sort of fish-like features about it actually stands up out of the bowl, and the bowl just on its own accord just disappears, strangely enough.
Yeah.
The four of you stand there or sit there looking at one another, and you all four have the opportunity to interact. So what all do you say and do in this moment as you all find yourselves sitting here on this beach? You don't know how you've gotten here. You vaguely have memories of being someplace else, of doing someplace else. Strange thoughts of a black coming over you. You don't remember all the details, though.
I struggle to catch my breath because I remember trying to breathe and it just not really working as well. And so I'm trying to catch my breath and I look around at everyone. Where is this?
I don't know. This is a distasteful looking place. It's all gray.
Well, first of all, are we just gonna ignore the fact that this individual simply apparated out of what seemed to be a fishbowl?
Who?
I think he's talking to you.
He's talking. Are you on drugs?
Clearly, we're all on drugs.
I've definitely
it's
seen
all right.
people hallucinate things on drugs before.
I
remember that.
While I have been known to partake said substances, I don't think this is one of those times, but I could be wrong.
Maybe it's a trick of this strange light.
Are you a doctor? You're dressed as a doctor. Is this an experiment?
Yeah, probably is. This will pass. If each of you could tell me what you're experiencing right now, how does this make you?
Complete and utter confusion.
Oh, I'm definitely confused. Yeah.
I'm also very upset.
I feel upset as well. I feel like I'm supposed to be somewhere taking care of someone, and none of it is you.
Well,
As the four of you are standing there, trying to get your bearings about one another and about yourselves, you realize that there is a shimmer in the air right by where the four of you woke up. It looks like a light is fading out of the air itself. There is like a kind of flicker, and that light does seem to disappear the rest of the way. You notice at the edge of the beach, probably about 30 feet away from you, although it looks like it could be longer, it could be shorter than that, is a single rowboat. Its wood is made of dark woods as well. Everything here, again, is in shades of monochromatic black and white. All the color of the life that you remember seems to be leached out of this place. And the boat seems to call to the four of you.
Exercise is critical to get the blood moving, substances to flow. We are indeed at our maximum tolerance, intolerance perhaps. Then we should move and allow it to pass through our body, break down naturally at a more rapid pace. Get our hearts pumping, and everything will be fine. It's good to have a focus.
I'll be listening to this fellow while I walk over to look at this rowboat.
All right. By the way, what are all of your names? You know, I think it'd be, if we're gonna be, I'm assuming, getting in this boat together, might need to know what to address each other as.
Why do you need to know my name?
I could just call you Fishbowl if that's what you rather.
Yeah, that's fine. You call me Fishbowl for now.
And I slowly turn away from Fishbowl, and would you like a different epithet? Epithet. That I can't say that word. RC can. I can. Sid can.
All right.
Then what are you all to be called? So, and if any, nothing. All right, I'll get in the boat.
Well, I'm Agnes.
Oh. Hello, Agnes. Pleasure is mine. Nice to meet you. And you are Dr. Friend.
Yeah, Dr. Cumbersworth. You may call me Reginald. It is a pleasure, of course, to meet both of you and
Fishbowl.
the hallucination. It is strange that you do not. You are outside the forms that I'm seeing here. That is a fascinating component to this current experience.
Well,
You talk funny.
Yeah, it
In fact,
is.
all of you dress funny too. Are you from Neverwinter? I heard that they dress weird up there.
Never heard of it.
Strange
And
people.
never heard of it. I turn back to the other two. My name is Ferdinand Richard Cunningham Dubois. Folk tend to call me RC. And I shake their hand and at the same time just look upon their person to see if they have anything important.
Definitely.
Do those things carry forward? Like, do items carry forward into the ink?
You will find that certain types of items that you had on your person, like for example, if you had a pocket watch, it's still there. It doesn't do anything. You notice, like if you go to remove it from your pocket, it's just seemingly attached to you. It doesn't really have a purpose anymore. But any sort of larger scale types of items, if you had, let's say, a weapon, or you had something like a wallet or something like that, they're not to be found when you start poking around yourself, trying to feel in pockets or into hand purses or maybe things of this nature.
Yeah, Cumbersworth does have a pocket watch. A small collection of pens or other utensils in his lab coat front pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
RC has a little appointment book, a little black book.
Okay.
It's blank, or the words are just like scratched out. You just can't read it. It's
Yeah.
unintelligible. And then I turn around, there's a knife in my back.
Yeah. A knife sticking straight out of the center of his back, right between his shoulder blades. As you all notice it, there's doesn't seem to be any blood or anything. It's almost like the knife in his back is literally just part of him.
I mean, I'll walk over and try and pull it out.
Okay. You go over, your hand closes around it. You feel your fingers grip the handle, and as you pull, RC, you feel him. It feels like somebody's just pulling on the back of like your shirt, or is actually holding onto your shoulders and pulling you. It seems to be this knife is literally connected. It's part of you now.
Yeah, I don't remember the knife, so I don't know it's there. So
Right.
I feel Fishbowl tugging on my shirt, and I spin around and say, "Hey, now, Fishbowl,
Hey,
keep your your eyes on me, my eyes on you. Keep your hands to yourself."
Well, you've got a thing sticking out.
I got a what?
You got a thing sticking out. It's in your back.
Now what? And now what are you talking? What? And I try to look.
Well, come
I'm
here,
just
I'll
kinda
pull it out.
spinning.
Doesn't that hurt?
I'm not sure. I'd rather you not. Doctor, is there something in my back, Agnes? I'm not sure what to make
It's,
of
it's
Fishbowl.
startling.
Yeah.
There's a knife in your back.
Now who put that there?
Could
Can
have happened during the psychosis of the peak of the hallucination, perhaps. Could have been any one of us who put that into your back. It's not surprising, however, that you don't feel it. It could be the substances that we have taken, or perhaps it is a broken nerve on the back that it has ceased to feel.
Now, Doctor, that is one of the most unsettling sentences I've ever heard in my life, and I've heard a lot of unsettling sentences. But I try to touch it.
When you put your hand back, you feel it there. You feel that there is a knife, and as you touch it, you get a very small glimpse, a flash of color inside your mind as a memory slowly starts to, I'm sorry, doesn't quickly just flickers into light, and you have a brief memory of being stabbed in the back, but it's a very fleeting, quick memory. That's all you get out of it. You're not sure what the context was, how it happened, when it happened, but you do remember the knife plunging into your back and that darkness shortly after.
Well, nah, I didn't like that vision one bit, and I just eyed the other three. All right, someone put it there, and I'm getting hallucinating. It's So the all right. And I no longer show my back to the rest of everyone.
Okay.
I'm forever. I'm
Just
never in
always-
front. I'm never in front, and I'm always facing everyone,
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
so I can see the other knife coming.
Can I please have all four of you roll a 1d6?
1d6.
That would be a 4.
A 4, thank you.
6.
6, thank you.
1.
1, thank you.
I got me a 5.
5, thank you. Agnes, there is something that you sense behind you. You almost get it like it sounds like there is maybe a sound that you hear that the other three don't. And as you maybe start to notice it, start to turn a little bit, you see distantly across this dark black ocean, there is what seems to be a peak that rises up out of it. It is stretching up into the white, semi-translucent clouds that cover its peak. And you see that right on the very top, there is a flicker of that light, that same pulsing that you noticed when you all saw the light disappear from behind you. But it's brighter. It's almost like a lighthouse streaming out in the dark of this place. And you notice it first.
Does anyone else see that? Oh, my hallucinations are coming back.
I mean, it seems like we're continuing to have one of those, but what are you talking about?
Well, there's a peak over there and a light that's flashing, and you don't see it?
I'll look in that direction.
As you look, you see the same thing that she mentioned. It does look like a large peak, an island of sorts that comes up out of the water right on the horizon, and there is a light coming off the top of it. It is just kind of going in and out. Again, almost like a lighthouse. That would be what you would best think of it as.
Does it seem welcoming or ominous?
A little bit of both.
Indifferent? Oh, okay.
A little bit
Okay.
of both, strangely enough. Yeah. It feels like you want to go there, but it also feels like you're worried to go there.
Is there anything where we are that like makes us feel like we should stay here?
Not particularly. Yeah, there's just the feeling of the beacon, as it were. There's the boat right nearby. You look around the island. It's a small little island. It's maybe 100 feet across. So there's really nothing here. There's a couple of trees. They sway in some sort of unfelt breeze.
Well, we might as well go check it out.
It has been quite some time since I have last found myself unwittingly on an island. Memory serves. We should get in a boat. That seems like a very safe thing to do in our current state.
Quite right, Doctor.
I'll start walking towards the boat,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I get there, I'll just slip into the water instead. Just like it felt so natural to do that instead. And as that happens, the amorphous shape becomes obviously a ghostly goldfish.
Okay. Yeah, so as the three of you are getting in, you'll see that this other gentleman, Silgar, as he announced himself. I'm sorry, he didn't announce himself. Excuse me.
Fishbowl.
Yeah, you see Fishbowl walks up to the surface of the inky black water, and as he does so, right as he's about to make contact with it, he turns back into the goldfish shape and jumps up and goes into the water. Fishbowl, Silgar, as you go into the water, there is an ominous black that comes up to swallow you whole.
Ah! I jump out of the water into, if possible, into the boat.
You awaken
Oh.
on the beach as you did moments ago.
And we saw
Shake that off.
The other three of you saw him jump into the water, and then there was the light on the beach, that thing that you had noticed before. And as the second flash came, it was slightly bright. You all had to avert your gaze for a second. When you look back, you see the fishbowl once again sitting in the place where it was. His goldfish form is still for a moment, and then it slowly starts to move around, much like it did when you first discovered him. And then it goes to the edge of the glass and stands up into this humanoid shape that you saw before. And Silgar, you're like, huh.
So after that, do I remember everything that has just transpired, or?
Yes, you remember everything that just transpired. You remember going into the inky black, and you remember that when you went into the inky water, it did kill you. You could tell.
There's something in the water. There's something in the, or it is the water.
The water has been contaminated, and the entire experiment has gone completely awry.
Yeah, don't breathe the water. That's for sure.
Now, Fishbowl, I'll just go ahead and say this, since it seems like you're not aware. Normally, you can't breathe water, especially for and I look around, species.
Oh, maybe there isn't anything in the water and I drown?
Maybe. Not yet.
Well, let's just.
Doctor.
What do you think? Why don't we just stay out of the water? Just not in the water.
Yeah, that.
Unless you want to try it.
I think I'll refrain from attempting such activities. To the boat.
Yes, everybody piles back into the rowboat. You look around, and in a moment when you first get in, there are no oars. But as you look around, that's strange. There's some right here. So you take them. Who's rowing the boat?
I will row.
Okay. Just the doctor, or is anybody else assisting?
Just
Well, I
the
can't
doctor.
possibly be expected to row a boat.
Oh, of course.
I'll
not.
totally row the boat.
You're absolutely right. Where are my manners? And I go and help the doctor row the boat.
Okay. Let's go ahead and have you guys do a roll for me to see how in tune you guys might be, because rowing a boat with another person is actually quite difficult. People don't realize there's a certain rhythm you have to build up with each other. So let's have you guys roll to see how well you do with that. So you're going to roll. All rolls in ink are going to result in rolling 2d6, 2 6-sided dice. If you have any sort of skills that you retain from your living form, from your life, your previous life, that you think might assist here, you can get a +2 on the roll. Currently, another thing to keep in mind is you all have what's called karma, which is how positive or negative your aspect currently feels within the ink. Right now, the 4 of you are at positive karma. So you're going to, as a default, get 2d6 + 1 for the positive karma. Are there any skills that you might have, Doctor, that would aid you in rowing this boat, do you think?
I don't think so. It's a scientist. So doesn't really do a whole lot of these sorts of things.
Well, that's fine. And how about you, RC?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Nah, none of these skills.
Not a problem.
Unless stay alert helps. I don't know.
All right, let's do each of you roll 2d6 + 1.
3.
3,
That is a 7.
7. Okay. You guys do both start to row. There is a little bit of some discordant energy between the two of you for a moment. It does take you a little bit to kind of get that figured out. And you row out into the inky black. And as you go into the ink, you travel for what seems like a good distance. You would guess you're at least a mile offshore when you finally figure out how to make it all work. And as you're rowing and the pace is starting to pick up, Agnes, you find yourself looking towards that beacon again. And Silgar, right next to you, 13 says, "Can you believe this has taken this long to get here?" You look over and there's a guy, a spirit, as it were. The best way to describe him would be, imagine Casper the Friendly Ghost. He's got very cartoonish type features. He looks like a ghost, like a cartoon drawing of a sheet with eyes.
Doctor, I think I'm having more of those visions you were talking about, but I haven't taken.
It's to be expected.
I haven't taken any more. I don't remember taking anything.
Well, what little data we do have is that you did enter the water, although there was some strange hiccup and you went back over to the land. I think that was more of a visual thing, since we are all experiencing, to some degree, the same level of hallucinatory psychosis as yourself. But perhaps the water itself is tainted. Maybe there was a chemical spill from the facility. I don't know. It's the best theory I have at the moment.
I'm just like leaning away from this talking sheet.
The sheet looks at all of you, and you all look, and you see this sheet now sitting next to Two Fishbowl, as if he's been here the whole time. "Oh yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I'm supposed to greet you when you first wake up on the quay, but I got a little behind on my duties, you understand? Hey, you chum, you're okay, right? You get what I'm saying, right? You understand? It's cool."
La 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 la. I don't hear anything.
Agnes forgets that she doesn't have a handbag because she always carries a handbag, and she just tries to swing a non-existent handbag.
Nice. As you do that, Agnes, there is a slight brief form of something that seems to be made of shadows that kind of flickers behind her for a moment as she panics, but it goes away after a second. And this sheet says, "Okay, let's start at the beginning, shall we?" Snaps his fingers, and you're all four back on that same beach. The rowboat is there on the edge, and this sheet is floating in the air as you all four stand there. He goes, "Okay, Let me start at the beginning, all right? My name is 13, and I am the welcoming committee here in the Ink, all right? So, I'm going to tell you how everything goes. I'm going to tell you what you need to know to pass on, and you're going to put in a good word with the up and ups. You understand?
Doctor, is this part of the experiment and or hallucinations? Because
I
Oh,
would
are you
assume
seeing
so.
this now?
I think we are all. Are we all seeing this? It would be very information for the collection of data. It's a compilation of the experience, so we can have some cohesive findings. Fascinating.
Man, you Chama, you guys are really confused. That's okay. You know what? I'm gonna break it down real simple. I'm gonna talk to you as like your babies. You're gonna understand the whole thing, okay? All right. So, listen. My name is 13. Like I said, I'm one of the people here. I'm actually one of 13 that are here. There's different keys around, and he points out. And now that you look out over the water, you can see instead of a vast stretch of black, there are a bunch of these different islands all over the place, and you can see that there are people. Various sizes, various shapes, various origins are standing up, or they're standing there already looking around. They don't seem to notice you on the key, but they're just looking around to see what's going on. He says, "You're here. You're in the ink." He pauses to let that sink in for a second. You don't know what the ink is? Oh man, this gets harder every time I got to do this. Okay, so the ink. Oh, all right. Listen. You's all is dead, okay? Every one of you're all dead. You died. I'm sorry about that. This is like the afterlife, okay? This is where you go before you move on, before you go where you're supposed to be, your final resting place, okay? So, you got a question? You go ahead. I don't want to take away from you. You go ahead. I'm only the guy with all the answers, but you go ahead.
hey, I didn't have a question. I just came to a realization that explains the knife that is currently placed ever so gently, or not so gently, I'm not sure, in my back. But you can continue on.
And it is stuck there.
Go ahead. Yeah. Can you not? Yeah. Don't pull on it, Fishbowl. That'd be.
I'm just trying to help.
Hey, I understand, but it would be greatly appreciated if you let that be. But 13, you can continue on and continue talking. And does 13 have anything of value? That
He literally looks like a floating sheet in the air with eyes and a mouth. Okay, so as I was saying, yes, you're all dead. You're here in the ink. The ink, it's an afterworld where you're going to go to the beyond. See, you're all here because when you died, there were things that you didn't have finished, okay? There's a burden that you all carry, unfinished business that you want to get done, or you want to kind of move past before you move over. You get what I'm saying? So, this key... Oh, well, go ahead. Sorry, I've got another expert here.
How did we get back?
Back where?
To not being here. Like, I have stuff to do. I have someone to protect. How do I get back?
Listen. I said you're dead, man. You don't come back from that, okay? It's one and done. You're done. You're dead. You're here, okay? You can move on to the afterlife, or you can stay here and go around in the boats and play around and do whatever you just want to do. So,
what's the afterlife exactly?
Oh man. Okay, so let me try this one more time, okay? You all are dead. This is a key. It's one of the islands here in the ink. The ink is a vast, wide, black ocean made out of all of the thoughts and the hopes of those who are alive, okay? Because you're here, you had unfinished business, okay? Right. You got to finish your business here, and then you go to one of the beacons. You pass through it. Now, not all the beacons can be passed through. There's a beacon here on the key, and when he points, there is what almost looks like a portal opens up, that flash that like it did when you reappeared, Silgar, but it stays open for a second. It just looks like a shimmering white light floating in the air. This is the beacon. If you was to, maybe shuffle back off, the mortal coil, as the humans would say. You know, you're gonna reappear here because this island is your starting beacon. Okay. You know, if you alls was a little bit younger, I could explain this in video game terms, but I can tell you're all older people who don't understand that stuff. So we're gonna do it like this, okay? If you die, you go in the ink. One of the monsters kills you. I mean, you know about the monsters, right? You know about the fiends.
I mean, I've seen
my.
monsters before, but not here.
You gotta be kidding me. No, you guys don't know. Oh man, you guys, jeez, okay, that's all right. All right. You'll find out about the fiends, all right? But listen, if you die, something happens, you're gonna start right back here. That means you gotta go. If you want to cross over to the next island like you was trying to do, you gotta do that again. Okay.
Right. And over there is where the door is to get back to where I was.
You can't go back to where you was. You're gonna go to the afterlife. You're either gonna go up to the nice place, you know, with the harps and the fun, or you're gonna go to the other place, which is not too fun. I don't know. I'm here.
I look at the others like, I don't know what this guy's talking about, but I mean,
How are we supposed to finish our business if we can't go back to where we were?
exactly.
It does seem counterproductive, lady. I understand that, but that's what you got to do. What you have to do is you have to emotionally move past your burdens, move past your business, and you know that's how you got to do. Okay, so you do that on your journey, because that's the other thing. When you get to one of the passage beacons, you can't just go through. You got to be done with your burdens. You got to lay your burdens down to finally rest. You see what I'm saying? Oh man, this is gonna be difficult. You alls are gonna have a long, hard, arduous journey, I can tell.
So what you're saying is go and get in this boat.
You can do that. You can stay here. If you're not ready to lay down your burdens, you can stay here, relax on the quay, relax on the island. If you're ready, you can try to take a journey. You can go, maybe try to go to one of the baristas and figure out what they can know to help you out. You know, there's all kinds of different things, different ways to go about, but you do not want to go into the ink again. Okay?
Coffee is sobering. Perhaps a barista would be the ideal person to visit. There's coffee shops nearby?
Oh, great. Somebody understands one of my references finally. Yes, there's coffee shops here. The baristas are going to be able to help you out. They're going to get you right in the head. Some of their elixirs that they sell there have abilities that can make you stronger, better, faster. I heard that somewheres.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But
Yeah, potions, magic potions. That's like the first thing you said that I have understood.
Potions.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
go
boy.
get these magic potions.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. You got any questions? You old lady, you got some questions?
I mean, I have a million questions, but you don't seem like you're giving straight answers, so.
Okay, you alls get one more question that I'll answer it as directly as possible. Old lady, what you got? What you got for me here?
Which direction should we start going?
Well, as you're here, you're going to feel the pull of the passage beacon because your soul wants to pass over. It wants to go into the distant beyond, some such touchy-feely business. I don't know too much about that, but you're going to feel one of these things call at you, going to bring you there, and that's where you's got to go. And you all remember and think about that light that you saw in that distant peak. That's probably an example of one of these things he's talking about.
So when we were heading that way and you brought us back here, you like interrupted our quest. So you're like one of those things that always comes in and tries to take stuff from. Oh, I feel like there's something right there. I just can't think of it. You're a bad guy, aren't you?
I'm not a bad guy, okay? I'm like the guy in the beginning of the game who's going to come up and be like, hey, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this, and he gives you the sword. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that guy, okay? I'm here to help you, make sure you're prepared, that Use is ready to take your journey. Because if you're not prepared, you ain't going to make it. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. Was that your last question? Good. Okay. How about you? Fancy Pants, you got a last minute question? He says, pointing at you, RC.
I don't believe I have another question. You seem to answer everything we need to know and be prepared.
Nice, got it, cool. It's always the quiet guys who understand what I'm talking about. You've got it. All right, how about you there, Doctor? You got something for me too?
I just find it to be incredibly fascinating that we are all sharing the same hallucination. Could you perhaps direct me to the nearest telephone?
I'm sorry, we don't got those here. You're gonna have to just talk like you and I is talking now. You're gonna have to just say, "Hey, I got a question. Hey, I got an answer." You get do it back. There's no telephones. There's no.
There probably one is at the coffee shop. Yes, like the barista will have a phone that we can borrow in the office, perhaps.
I don't think so, but you can go check anyway. I don't think there's any telephones. There's no smartphones. There's not going to be any sending spells. He says, looking at you, Silgar. There's not going to be any telegrams. He says, looking at you, Agnes. There's not going to be any sort of, I don't know, smoke signals, whatever it is you've got. He says, pointing at RC. There's just talking. There's just going to be you figuring things out, okay? Look, I would love to help you chum out a little bit better, get you more acquainted with the land, but I got tons of other people. As you see, all these other keys, all kinds of hapless people who don't know what's going on. I got to help them too. So if we're done here, I'm going to go. I'm going to talk with some other people. Maybe they're going to be a little bit smarter. We'll see. But, what? You're good? You're all right? You got it figured out?
Do you have like a person that you answer to?
All right, you can say, you all have some good luck, okay? And he turns, and as he turns and he starts to walk away, he just kind of seems to, and he's on one of those other islands, like instantly. And the four of you look back to the boat, and Agnes, you still see and feel that beacon on the top of that distant mountain, that distant peak, is calling out to you all again. So you all have a little bit of a better idea of what's going on here now. You're all dead. And you've woken up in this monochromatic world called the Ink. And to pass over, you have to get to one of these passage beacons and hopefully pass over. So how do you all want to go about doing this? I mean, this is really kind of your journey. The first steps can be taken however you all prefer. So what do you guys want to do?
So the way I understand it is we have to get in this boat. We have to go over there and climb through that portal to get back to where we were. If this guy shows up, the sheet, if he shows up again in the boat, we should throw him overboard so he doesn't send us back again.
I agree, Fishbowl. I think that's a good plan.
A better plan than. Oh, I'm sinking into 13s. Accent. Well. Yeah, so let's just get in the boat and be on our way. Doctor, you have any other suggestions or anything else you want to add to the pool?
Well, coffee is sobering, and I think that is. I think we perhaps hydration. They'll probably have more than just coffee there. Some water, perhaps. Telephone would be good. I do find it to be incredibly fascinating that we are in such a deep state that we have reached the point of, it seems, ego death, but perhaps even beyond that, where that existential experience that comes with, through ego death has us looking at ourselves in a sense of death. Perhaps this is fascinating. Fascinating, I say.
As the doctor's talking, I'm listening and nodding like I understand anything that he's saying. And I go over to get in the boat and then turn into a goldfish and get back in the water. Goldfish, man.
As you are finishing up what you're saying, Doctor, there is that. You all see the fishbowl reappear on the beach. You see the goldfish reappears within it, starts swimming around, and then when it gets to the glass, it turns back into fishbowl's man form.
Oh, you're all still here. What just happened?
I'm dilations, hiccups in memory, stuttering of memory, playing of memory.
No, I don't think that's what occurred. I think Fishbowl went and got back in the water after 13 said not to go in the water and ended up back on the beach. So I think let's how about all of us just get on and go on this boat and row towards what was it, the beacon? That's what's calling to you, Agnes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that'll be the best course of action. Fishbowl, if you get back in the water, we are not turning around to come for you. So,
Right. Water bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no swimming allowed at this particular beach.
Just seems so weird to me. Anyway, all right. I'll go and sit in the boat.
Okay. Before you return once again to the all-black rowboat, the oars are in hand once more, and you start to cast off. You cast off, and after about one row, let's go ahead and have another check made by those of you who are rowing, whether it's just the doctor, whether it's the doctor and RC once again. You can help too if you want,
I'll
Fishbowl.
try to help.
Okay. There's 3 oars all of a sudden.
Are we rolling 1 or 2d6?
2d6
Okay.
plus 1, unless you have a
Awesome.
skill that applies, you could roll plus 2.
I don't think my swimming skill would help for this. It's like the opposite of my swimming skill.
Could be.
But that's 8.
8 for you. What'd you get, Doctor?
5.
5, okay.
Better.
What'd you get?
Better.
RC?
Better.
got-
Yeah, I'm getting it.
I got 8 again.
Oh, okay. So, because those numbers are a little bit closer together, that bridge of misunderstanding each other's rhythms is crossed a little bit. You all work a lot better in unison with the 3 of you rather than the 2 of you. And you row, and when you all take another row in unison, you feel you hit the beach on the other side.
It was actually really easy to row in unison because I just rowed with the movement of the knife in RC's back.
Nice. Yes, and when you all realize that you've stopped, you look and you do see that, in fact, you are on the distant shore. You see that huge, tall mountain is rising up behind you all, a peak that rises up into the sky. There is the remnants of the light on top that still continues to pulse, the beacon that is drawing you all closer. You look around the beach, and what you can see is it's just more of this blackish gray sand. Distance of probably about 50 to 60 feet away is a small hut of sorts. It's made out of dark black wood. It has a thatched roof, and it is sitting there, and you can see that there is a smoke that is coming up off of a small chimney off to the side, and that smoke gives off a very fragrant smell that can only be described as cooking and steamed beans. It smells very good. It warms you all in a certain way. The smell of the coffee you would recognize immediately, Doctor and Agnes and RC. I don't think there is coffee in the Forgotten Realms, Silgar, but it smells good to you. In this form that you have now, it smells really good.
I mean, I think there is coffee in the Forgotten Realms, but I'm pretty sure that Silgar would not know what it is.
That's true. So you all disembark out of the rowboat and step onto the beach. And what do you guys do?
Wow, I must have fallen asleep. Oh, sorry. I thought I was going to help row over here, but that was great journey. Great job, everyone.
I don't think that I'll ever get, accustomed to Fishbowl here. Anyway, onward is the cabin. Lead the way.
Okay. You all 4 start towards the cabin. You're labeling it as. And as you start to draw closer, you can see that the outside there comes into focus, into view, a set of a couple different round tables with little metal and wicker chairs that are positioned around them. 4 chairs at each one of these little tables. There is a bar type area that starts to just emerge out of the side of the wood wrapping around the building. You can see that there are some more of these people that look like cartoonish sheets are floating around, and they're without hands, somehow they are grabbing onto cups, onto pitchers. They're pouring this dark, black, steaming liquid into mugged shaped ceramic devices that they're putting on saucers and moving around. And they're just all kind of in a hubbub about one another. It seems hurried, but it's not anxiety driven. They look like they're all enjoying this flurry of motion and activity. And you all start to draw closer. Let's have everybody please roll a 2d6 plus 1 for your positive karma still. If there is any skill that you think that you would have that would allow you to notice something, you get a +2.
Stay alert.
Stay alert, I think, is a great skill for that.
I mean, if my dice didn't hate me, that would be awesome. However, 5.
5, okay.
6.
6, okay.
12.
12, wow, nice.
Nice one.
14.
Oh, wait.
14. Both RC and the doctor, as you are approaching the beautiful fragrant smells, that intoxicating bouquet of that coffee just coming out and wafting out of the cottage, you're calling it, and you start to move towards one of these tables, there is a shifting in the sand beneath you, and you two notice. The other two did not, unfortunately, because they're so wrapped up in trying to get up to what's going on. The two of you notice that there is shifting in the sand, and these vaguely the size of a greyhound dog type of crab-like creatures come up out of the sand. There are 3 of them that come up in a triangular position around the 4 of you. Now, we will enter into what we call conflict in the system. This is like combat. There is no initiative in the combat type of setting in Ink. What happens is we will narratively try to figure out something. There are 4 basic moves that each character is going to have. They can basically choose to attack. They can choose to use one of their abilities and powers that they have here inside the Ink. They can try to shield themselves or another, or they can try to hex, which is try to offset the enemy. So in this moment, I think right now this first little movement is going to be you all come to realize that you all are being surrounded by these weird, for lack of a better description, like cartoonish crab people are coming up out of the water and are surrounding the 3 of you. Yes. So you all notice that, and you all are aware of what's going on. Agnes and Silgar, when you quickly look over to where that bar had come out, you see that all of the people who were handling all the sheets that were handling the drinks and stuff are all gone, and so are the drinks. So in this moment, as the crab people come up and they surround you all, you're all in relative base combat with each other here. Let's figure out what we want to do. So out of your 4 moments, you're all going to choose one of those 4 things you'd like to do. Attack, use a power, shield, or try to do a hex type of effect to modify your enemies. The enemies are going to have one as well. So we're all going to write that together in unison, and then we're going to reveal them at the same time and then adjudicate them that way. So when everybody's ready, positive thumbs up. Then we'll know to flip it over. How fast can we type? Okay. We're all good? All right, and put them in there. Okay, so we have the creatures are going to attack, and so is Agnes. Apparently, she's not having this. I love it. Silgar's going to try to shield. Yes, with that first thing, yeah. Silgar and the doctor are going to try to shield themselves, and interestingly enough, we're going to have RC is going to try to hex these baddies. So let's do this. I think because you rolled so high on your noticing check, I think RC, you're going to start this off. So you want to try to hex them, basically. So how that's going to work is you can basically use your like abilities and stuff that you have to try to offset the balance of the combat, as it were. So specifically, you feel, I mean, you're here, you're standing there, you look like yourself, the knife in your back. There is something that you feel move around you. We had a brief discussion beforehand about how exactly our physical forms that represent what we look like, our spirits, are going to be different from our shadows, which are the um, dare I say more slightly monstrous forms that we have here in the ink, how they manifest. So how does yours manifest? Does it manifest you turn into something? It comes out of you? Something gets summoned to you? How do you see your shadow coming in to aid you in this battle?
It so how it manifests outwardly. What it looks like is something just separates from RC and moves forward, and it's my shadow. What my shadow looks like, it's
Yeah.
like a shadow with one gleaming yellow eye and a toothy grin,
Hmm.
and is dressed as like a ringleader, P.T. Barnum-esque ringleader, top with a top hat, and all that's visible. Everything, every all the skin that is what would be shown is just made of a literal shadow. It's a literal shadow, just in in a ringleader's outfit.
Nice.
Absolutely, yeah. It does. It glides out of and interposes itself between you and one of these shrimp people. And as it does, that eye, that one single eye, strangely enough, you all notice a yellow color. It's the only color around you all in this monochromatic world for a moment. It flashes as that toothy grin gets brighter like a Cheshire cat. And you're going to choose one of the enemies. It doesn't really matter because we're not using a battle map or anything like that. But one of the enemies is going to have their karma flipped into the negative as you manifest and change the world around them. I would assume you would pick the one that is straight in combat, straight base contact with you, but it doesn't have to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Whichever one's closest to me that seems like they're gonna come after my person. All about that. All about that personal.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what we have is basically there is the one next to you, there is one next to the doctor, and then there is one in between where Silgar and Agnes are just a couple feet away from where you guys are on the beach. So yeah, the one in front of you, his karma is going to be manifested into the negative. And let's resolve all of the attacks right now with the shield being able to be reactionary to that. So we had attacks coming from the shrimp people and also from Agnes. So Agnes, let's go ahead and have you roll an attack. It's going to be 2d6 plus you have 1 for your karma still because you're still positive karma. Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be 1d6 for your karma, not just a +1 number like what
So
you were doing
2d6
before.
and then another 1d6?
Yeah, so 3d6. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And that has to beat your target enemy's defense score.
I got 10.
10. Okay, that's definitely going to hit. So again, all of the combat in this is manifested and controlled by your shadow. What does your shadow look like? How does it manifest out of you? How does it come into being? What does it look like?
Agnes's shadow looks like the moment in Fellowship of the Ring when Bilbo's face changes. Wanting Frodo to show him the ring.
Yeah.
And so she, like, her face gets all old and splotchy, like older, impossibly old, and her eyes just go black. There's no whites of her eyes anymore. And she's got like little fangs that kind of sprout out. And then this handbag manifests out of nowhere as she swings it at this shrimp person.
I love that. Absolutely. So yeah, that's going to slam into that now. Your shadow form that you have is going to determine what your damage is. So it's going to say right there on your shadow form, what is your damage? You are if I remember correctly, you are one of the lucid shadows, which is a shadow that is tied into knowledge and being aware and seeing what's going on. So how do they, what sort of damage are you dealing here?
It is frailty.
Okay.
1d6 plus 1 frailty.
Excellent. So what is that roll for us?
5.
5. Okay. So what's going to happen is you're going to deal 5 frailty tags onto this character. So it's going to feel 5 basically points of damage if we want to equate this to a different system. But then it's also going to have the frailty tag. As tags add up, your enemies can get more and more hindered during the fight. And this can happen to you all as well. Tags can affect you guys too from enemy attacks. And so what happens, is it gets hit. This one was just trying to attack. This is the one I was just trying to attack. So it doesn't defend itself at all because it's all at the same time. Yeah, you take the handbag and you just crack it across the face. There was a snapping sound because it does hit under that chitinous armor that it has of its natural skin, but it's going to take 5 points, and it does have a frailty tag. So very awesome. So that slams into it. Again, it was trying to attack too. I'm going to say, for the sake of just seeing how everything happens, it's going to try to attack. It was going to try to attack Silgar. So it's going to come at you, Silgar, with... It's just going to be against your defense. This is going to be a 9 to hit you.
That'll hit.
Okay. So you are going to take... Ooh, you're going to take 3 points of damage. And it does not inflict any tags. So...
Now, so does damage come off of your base stamina?
Yes, you all have a stamina score.
Yeah.
That is tied into how strong, how much of a presence your shadow has here in the ink. So yeah, as it takes away from your stamina, when it reaches 0, you'll basically kind of wither away and be unhindered. If it drops below that 0, even -1, you are effectively your shadow. And because your shadow is tied to your spirit, your physical form here, you basically would be destroyed. You would die. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yes, we have that. So okay,
Put that
and then
in your
also
boat and row it.
Okay, but with that hitting you though, you did have your action was to shield yourself. So what shielding does is you take half damage for that round from that attack.
Okay.
So instead of 5, you're going to take 2.
Okay.
And also,
wait, 5? You said 3.
I said 3. I'm sorry. Then it's going to be 1. Thank you. I was looking at the 5 I'd written down from what Agnes did. So yes, forgive me. The other one that is going to attack, they were all 3 were going to attack. So the one that was going to attack you, Doctor, is going to try to attack you. You also are shielding, so we'll keep that in mind for the adjudication here. Oh, to hit you. Wow, that's going to be a 13 because he rolled double 6s.
That is.
Your damage is going to be also 3.
Okay.
No tags. So your damage is going to go down to 1 as well because you were defending yourself.
That goes
The
under stamina, right?
Yes. Yep. And then the one that was attacking you, RC, is going to come at you with a 10.
All right.
Compared to your defense score. Is that a hit?
Oh, that's it. I'm sorry.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Just want to make sure. And the damage for that is going to be 4. Now, because on your attack, you were doing the hex, you don't take that half damage because you were trying to turn the tide. So that basically would be 1 round of combat. So we continue, same thing. There's not really initiative. There's not like, okay, I'm going to go, then you kind of go. So we don't really have the typical back and forth play that we have in RPGs of strategy. There's not like, okay, well, if I do this, you guys can do that, and I'll buff you and you can do this. You don't really have that here, but we can still do that. So it's a new round, and let's figure out what exactly we want to do and type it in. And hopefully, Jeremy and I were working on this. Hopefully, it's going to have, well, really more Jeremy was working on it. Hopefully, these actions that we're picking should be showing up on the chat so you all can see all this and see how we're kind of determining all that. So when everybody has it, let's get a thumbs up. Everybody is still at positive karma, except for the 2 of you who got hit. Your karma is temporarily going to flip over to the negative because you took damage. Okay. So we're all good? All right, let's flip them. So what I've got is the one that is attacking Agnes and Silgar is going to try to shield itself this round. The other 2 are going to attack. So we've got, they're doing that. We've got Agnes is going to try to use a power. We have Silgar trying to attack. Oh, everybody's trying to use a power except for Silgar, who is just going to straight up attack. So I love that. So let's go ahead and adjudicate all the attacks first because the powers are pretty bigger. So Silgar, let's have you go ahead and roll. Kind of my house rule is I'm just going to have the PCs roll first when we're figuring out numbers and stuff just to make it easy. So go ahead and roll 2d6 again. Now you have a -1 because your karma got flipped.
Yeah.
So you have 2d6 minus 1 for your attack. The one would be a 1d6.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So basically, you roll a d6 and that number gets subtracted. I didn't explain that properly. So when your karma is negative, your karma die is a negative number onto your result. If it is positive, it's a positive result on your die.
Gotcha.
It's different than the skills you guys were doing, where it's a +1 or -1.
Right.
So
Essentially, storyline wise,
Yeah.
what this looks like, I don't know if you all know this, but crabs are bad. And so when these crabs rise up, Silgar just instinctually, can't tell you why, but just instinctually swims away, and you see like this ghost fish swim out of that kind of humanoid form, and tries to hide behind like the table and chairs, revealing the shadow, which is a cloaked figure with like a bone scythe and like a skull face, but the skull is a fish skull instead of a humanoid skull. And then he blocks, when he shielded, he blocked a lot of the damage with that scythe as the claw came down. However, as he tries to swing that scythe around, he's gonna get a 1.
A 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, yeah.
I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be a 0 because I rolled a 2 and a 1, and then taking my karma off, I was like, this has got to be a 0. But I got a 1.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's all right though. Yeah, so you swing out, you try to hit, and unfortunately that scythe, it just cuts through empty air. Now you are one of the Fen shadows, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
These are shadows that tend to be stealthy, secretive types of personalities that try to use beguiling and use sneak attack type of damages. So that's kind of the way this Grim Reaper character carries itself. But yeah, you swing out, and also because it was shielding, if you had hit, it would have taken less damage.
Right.
But yeah, you just swipe out, and it cuts through the empty air. That's just a little bit of a whiff. That's okay. It happens. Yeah, so the two that we're going to attack, both RC and the Doctor, they're each going to go. The first one, we'll do this on the Doctor. This is going to be a 7 to hit you, which I believe is below your defense. Oh, it does hit. Okay.
My defense is 7.
Or defense is 7. Okay. So you are going to take damage equal to 4 stamina because you were not shielding this round. Because you're using a power, you don't get that half damage. The one that's going to attack RC is going to do 6.
6 misses.
Okay. And so, yeah. So it snaps out, Doctor. It snaps into you. The one over on the side of you, RC, is going to come up, and it tries to has some sort of weird tendril tongue type of thing, snap out and try to hit at you, but your shadow just deflects it out of the way. And with that, the shadows of the other 3 of you, their powers start to come into effect. I'm going to go right down the row from how they got entered in. So let's start with you, Agnes. Agnes, what is your power from your lucid creature, your lucid shadow?
My power is Screech.
Screeching. All right, I love that. So yeah, so you are going to yell out a big banshee-like scream right in this thing's face. So what are you rolling for that? It's gonna probably have 2d6 plus. I don't know if it gets a plus. Your karma is positive, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, so you're gonna roll 3d6. And we'll compare that to its defense score.
10.
10. 10 is their defense score, so that is going to hit it. So the Screech power, I believe, is going to do sonic damage. So I got to flip back and forth through the book here. Do you have it in front of you? Because
yes.
It's taking me a second to find it.
Where did it go?
Powers. Here we go. I found it. Screech. Sorry, everybody. It's a beautiful book, by the way. It's got that same monochromatic color as the World of Ink, so it's very fun to see all that. I don't see where it is, though. Oh, I see. It's got them under the different effects. I got to go to Sonic. Screech. Yes, it is. All creatures within a long range are going to gain Frailty 2. So, because it already has Frailty 1 from your previous attack, now it has Frailty 2, which gives it Frailty 3, which is going to, on the little sliding chart here of how well it results in combat, it's going to start being a little bit more hindered in combat. So that's pretty cool to know. So yeah, and that is what that is going to do. The powers, you'll notice, they inflict more like the tags and the focuses, opposed to doing straight damage. Well, some of them do straight damage, but so that's that. But That is that. All right. So the power of, we'll do RC first. RC, what is your power that your shadow has?
Glare.
Okay.
Glare. Yeah, glare. And I was supposed to ask about that. So glare any.
Right.
It's just,
When you create the character, you choose one of the types of tags, and it would gain that. And it would permanently be that. So basically, you would be like, my glare does fire, or does because it's a
okay,
general
yeah,
ability.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
What
The
is
crab
circus?
people, you should do butter damage.
I should do better.
Or fire damage. Yeah. Yeah. So there's
Yeah,
there's fire,
I'll do fire.
fire, ice, toxic, horrific, and sonic are the different types. So you guys are aware.
Yeah,
Horrific sounds pretty awesome. I'm just saying.
It does.
actually, yeah, I think I'll go horrific.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and what it does, that one yellow eye just widens,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more of a mental attack. So what the crab sees is its worst nightmares. Basically, it's just a circus full of horror and destitution.
I love that. You are going to inflict one terror tag on this creature as it does start to get more afraid. Because you took no damage that round, your karma does flip back over to positive. And its is going to stay negative because you just inflicted a tag. And we are going to have the doctor use his power. So, and we should say that the type of shadow that you are, RC, of course, is
The Mon.
the Mon, yes, which I believe is the same as the doctor's, yes. Even though you have the same type of shadow, they do manifest differently, they do interact differently, but the Mon in general are exuberant, gregarious types of things. They're flashy, they're over the top, they're doing abilities that are very, for lack of a better description, these are, the very glaring abilities, the abilities that are like really like, oh wow, look at that. They kind of make you take notice. So you both have that, but again, they manifest different. We've seen RC's is this ringleader type character with this malevolent eye. Doctor, what do we see yours manifest as he comes into being and he uses his ability?
I think it kind of overlays itself on him in the form of like a very fancy suit, tuxedo, full dress outfit, very formal, a monocle, and he will use glare. It's fiery.
Absolutely. I love that. So, excuse me. Go ahead and do the 2d6. Your karma's still positive too. So 2d6 plus 1d6. So 3d6.
Sure, I took damage this round. Does that flip?
Oh, did you? Did I get
Yeah,
that? Oh, yeah, you did. Yep, you're right. I'm sorry.
I took 4.
Yep.
So then I'll roll a 2, and then the third is the minus, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for being honest about that, John.
I'm just trying to keep track. So let's see here. That's 9 minus 2 is 7.
Okay. And unfortunately, you are going to have your glare go off as well. This creature manages to avert its gaze for a moment. It does not pierce as strongly as it could. But you're all 4 in the fight still. You're all 4 continuing this motion. And let's go ahead. Let's get our abilities chosen again here. Again, there's the 4 different types. You can attack. You can use a hexing ability to try to change the karma of your foes. You can use a power, or you can try to shield yourself, taking less damage. So let's roll that. If we got a thumbs up, we're good to go. Actually, I see all the names, so maybe that would just be a better way to do it. All right, let's enter them. Okay. All 3 of the crab / shrimp guys are trying to attack this round, and so is everyone. Everybody's just going all out right now. The shadows are strong, coming out of you all, surrounding you all, fighting against these foes, and the foes are going to press on. So we'll start in the way they got entered. Let's start with Agnes. Let's go ahead and have you roll your attack. Your straight attack is going to be 2d6 plus your 1d6 or minus 1d6 for your karma. I believe everybody has positive karma now that the round is over. So 3d6.
Sorry, I was muted. I rolled a 7.
7. Okay. You lash out and you try to whack him with your purse again, and it manages to put its arm up. It deflects it. It bounces off of it. It's not going to be as strong as that first hit that you did against it, but you don't lose any karma or anything. But you don't quite hit it as strongly as possible. You do tell it's frail. You can see there's like cracks and stuff in its armor. It looks like it's not as strong as it once was, so that's good at least. And Silgar right there standing next to her. You want to do attack as well? Let's see what you got.
Sure. Yeah, a little bit of like slightly green, like kind of fading in and out of this monochromatic ooze is sliding down the sickle or the scythe as my shadow takes a swing. Come on, fan roll dice. Don't let me
Ooh,
down.
yes.
Much better. That is 12.
12. Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it comes down. It does. It slashes out. It hits right into this thing. What is that effect we're going to have on that attack? It's going to be damage of, first off.
That is 4.
Okay, and this is the same one that Agnes has already whacked a
Okay.
couple of times.
And it's going to add a poison tag.
Oh, very nice. Poison 1. So, as that comes down, that attack hits it, Silgar, you make contact, and this thing, it just flings back, slams onto the sand. It just lashes once or twice, and then it goes still. As it goes still, you see it just, it's like smoke just gets blown away. There's a little bit of the sand underneath that was all kind of shaken about as it came out of it and now has like landed on it. Just goes back to being smooth, like it was never there in the first place. But that one is gone. Okay, so we're going on to the other PCs. Let's go over to the doctor right now. Doctor, what are you doing with your attack? You're trying to hit it specifically?
Or melee attacks, correct?
Mhm.
I think he's going to. I mean, it looks like a gun. It's a handgun. Some kind of military issue weapon.
Oh, nice.
But it's as if he is shooting the thing, but it is definitely, force up close. We'll roll 2d6, 3d6.
Yep, 3d6.
And we're in positive karma now, right?
That's right.
That is an 11.
Okay, yeah, that'll do it. So it's got a damage for it, and then also it's going to have a possible tag or effect to it. Now this still operates as your glare because that's the. Oh no, I'm sorry, you're attacking. Never mind.
Yep. I don't have any other abilities besides glare.
Right. Okay.
So 11 is what I do. It's the damage. Sorry, I do have a damage. It's a d6 plus 3.
There we go.
What that is. Stand by. 7.
7. Your shadow manifests this gun made out of shadow. It looks like it pulls it out of its overcoat, aims at the foe, and blam! There was a blast. You all hear this sound, and the creature gets blasted up off of its feet. And as it flies backwards, it's about halfway down to the ground. You see it just disappear as well, which is going to leave us with RC. You are
Yes.
attacking the one next to you.
Yes, I will. So, so my shadow. So what my shadow does, it pulls out. Since it's a ringleader, yes, it's a circus ringleader, but it doubles as a magician. So,
Nice.
it pulls out a deck of cards, and he just says, "Pick a card, any card." And you see up his sleeve there are some cards poking out of his sleeve.
Yeah.
So when the shadow does the card trick, it flicks its wrist and the cards shoot out.
Nice. Little gambit action. I love it. I love it.
And that'll be, I think I have to roll 2d6 souls, right? Or is it 3?
It'd be 3d6 now. Yep. Your karma is positive.
That is a 10.
10 hits it exactly. What's your damage and your effect on that?
The damage is 1d6, 4 plus 3, 7. And I don't think it has any effect. It doesn't. No, it doesn't say. It's just base. It's just the damage.
That's fine. Yeah, they all do different things. Not a problem. So yeah, you fan out the cards, and some of them blast forward, and as they slam into it, they slice it to ribbons, and the ribbons just disappear as well, leaving the four of you alone on the beach once more. You are all standing there. You look around to each other like, "Whoa, that was crazy. What just happened?" When you hear a voice, "Are you all going up the mountain?" You all four look over and you see one of these sheets that was handling all the coffee is looking there, smiling at you, leaning on the counter.
What the hell just happened? Sorry, what the Avernus just happened?
Wow, you guys are far away from home, but, you know, they probably should have done a better job preparing you, but that's okay. We'll help you out. Here, come on up. Have a cuppa, and we'll tell you what's going on. And as you all look, you see that right above where this person thing is standing, there was a sign that just kind of is there now. You don't remember it being there before, but it's there now. And it says the ever-loving cup on it.
So as the battle ends, my shadow fades out and then reappears over me, but now it's like more like I'm this floating goldfish floating inside this like flickering outline of the shadow. And I will walk over there and be all like, I'll have 3 of your finest magic potions, please.
All right. The barista raises an eyebrow. No eyebrows, but somehow it's raising an eyebrow. And it says, "Oh, honey, you've got a lot to learn." And we, as a group, will learn more about that after our very short break right now. So let's take 5 minutes. Let's have everybody step back out of the ink. Let's take a minute. And in real life, go ahead. This is perfect time to get a cuppa. Go get some coffee. Even if it's non-caffeinated, get into the mood. Don't forget, we are doing a special giveaway today from our sponsors over at Fan Roll Dice, some cool folks that we are partnered with. We're going to away some amazing dice. Jeremy, poke them up real quick so everybody can see what we're dealing with here. Are they hiding? He doesn't have them. That's all right. We're giving away some cool dice.
You mean like
cool
this?
Dice.
Yeah.
Yes, like that. Yeah, they look like that. Yeah, so check them out. They're very cool. They're a blind bag, but they are really awesome. We've been playing with these dice. They are expertly made. You're going to love them. But yeah, we'll take 5 minutes. We'll come back and we'll see what other kind of hijinks these heroes can get into in the world of ink. So thank you very much. We'll see you shortly. Thank you all for coming back. Here we are once again, going to be diving back into the ink. Before we do so, let's remind everybody that we do have a nice dice giveaway today. Our friends at Fan Roll Dice have given us some cool dice to hand out to whoever wants them. They're free. We're going to pay the shipping. We're going to send them to you. We do it all, guys. We are a full purpose, streaming community here, and we want to get you guys hooked up with some awesome dice. Like I said, we play with the Fan Roll Dice. They're awesome. We love it. So, if you want someone on your dicing table, maybe that's a thing. Maybe I made that up just now. If you want some on your gaming table, throw them in your dice tower, throw them in your dice bag. You want them just to stand on a shelf and look cool. Hey, we're your people for it. But anyway, yes.
It's all I'm rolling today.
That's all. Hey, roll with the best, baby. Yes, our heroes, just a quick recap, if you are just joining us, they are figures from various time periods who have died and have found themselves in the afterlife, a limbo world known as the Ink. And in the ink, they are trying to lay down their burdens and cross over into the afterlife. And to do so, they need to reach a passage beacon on the top of a mountain on the island they have just arrived at. And they just recently have overcome an obstacle and now have arrived at a very fun-looking coffee cafe known as the Ever-Loving Cup. So here we are. We open back up. Our four heroes in the monochromatic world of ink, the black and whites that permeate everything, including their own coloring and their memories. And as you all stand there, you're now seated around one of the tables just outside of the bar area. And this character, who has not yet been introduced, this looks like a cartoon sheet floating around with eyes and a smile, floats up to you all, sets down some glasses on the table, a pitcher, and says to you all, yes, you all got a lot to learn about what's going on here at Ink. I suppose that your handler, your guide, didn't exactly explain to you that you can't just march on up there into the lair of one of the fiends.
Fiends? Like in Avernus?
Well, I don't know about that, friend, but I do know that the fiends are strange beasts and creatures that live here within the ink. They're the guardians of the passage beacons, you see. They make sure that just no one goes across them. They need to make sure that the people who really truly pass over are folks that are ready to do so. I mean, have you all laid down your burdens?
Look, I'm just trying to get home. I got stuff to do.
Well, I understand that. I've got stuff to do too. And she finishes setting up all of the little mugs and stuff. And you all look down, and you don't remember her doing it, but now all your cups are full of coffee, steaming, glistening. You're not sure when that happened, but there they are.
At this point, I'm starting to realize that I don't really have hands anymore, as Silgar. Like my shadow does, but I don't. And so I'm like, can I get a straw?
And she's, again, a cartoonish type sheet, smiles, and she motions down towards your cup. When you look back down, you see that your coffee now no longer in a mug. It's in some sort of tumbler with a lid with a straw perched through it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I pull out a flask, just absentmindedly pull out a flask and start pouring it in the coffee. So you're saying nothing's coming out the flask, by the way.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it's emptiness. He's just pouring it. But...
Yeah. So you say we're in the lair of a fiend, or so you call it.
Well, the fiend lives on the top of the peak here. You see, the firebird is not exactly something that anyone just wants to deal with. It is a large creature. I suppose you could call it a bird, but it's enormous. Its wingspan is nearly 150 feet. It's huge. It's made out of writhing flames, and actually, it's made out of spirits, if we want to be honest. See, the fiends are drawn out of the ink. They are beings that are created by the presences here. And I gotta be honest, you seem like good people, and I'd hate to have you be destroyed, because there's others who have come here to try to go up there and get through the passage beacon, and, well, I've never seen any of them before. So, I don't think it's ended well for them.
I'm sorry. You said a lot of words, and the ones that are stuck out to me the most was fire and bird, and then adjacent to that, 100-foot wingspan is what you is what I recall, being said from your sheetly appearance.
You heard me then, yeah.
All right. I've heard enough. I've got all the information I need, and I'll start walking back to the boat. Good luck, and hope you all find your way.
Oh, are we going?
You're not going to finish your coffee?
Oh, I walked away with it.
Oh, okay. When you get to the boat and you look down to the boat, you're about to get in, you turn back to say, buddy, you go to actually raise the glass and you realize your hand's empty.
Well,
and his glass is on the table where he left it.
Apparently they have enchantments, so you can't walk off with the dishware.
It's really expensive. I mean, have you ever tried to buy and find china? It really adds up.
What's a china?
I've never tried to buy any fine things. maybe acquired in my time, some way or the other. But to buy, that's just not within my purview.
She looks to
And-
you, Agnes, and she says, "Well, certainly you understand fine china, don't you, dear?"
Of course I do. This is the
Yeah.
finest.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot coming from you. I know you are a well-to-do. Well, I would assume you're a well-to-do lady. The way you're dressed, I've never seen a fine dressing robe like this before. She says, pointing at your bathrobe.
It was quite expensive, of
Oh,
course.
well, good, good.
Are we supposed to fight this firebird?
Oh, I don't really think you're supposed to fight the fiends. I think you more just, come to terms with your burdens and they finally let you pass. I don't think you really go up there to fight and slay a beast. It's not like you're not heroes of old who are in a storybook who are going to fight ancient dragons with magic and spells and stuff like that.
What do you?
That would be silly.
What do you talk? Everyone does that. Don't you all do that?
And from far away, I yell out, "No, we all do not do that." What do you? Excuse me, and I just saunter up, I jog up. What do you mean, burden? And what do you mean by doc? See, doctor, I don't think we're hallucinating it any longer. We might be in what everyone has been describing so far as the ink, whatever that may be. But the burdens, what? Can you elaborate more on that subject?
Oh my. The concierge really didn't give you a lot of information, did he? That's okay. I can tell you. Well, this is the ink. Everybody is here because whatever purposes they had in life didn't get fulfilled. Your burdens weren't, you carry your burdens with you because your job wasn't completed. So, with that being said, there's something that each of you carry, a burden, maybe a shame, or maybe even bad feelings, an unfinished purpose. Maybe there's a loved one that you want to look after. The reasons can be varied, but you all have a reason why you're still here, and you want to make sure that that gets accomplished. You need to move past that. And once you move past that, you can finally move on.
That's what I was trying to tell 13, is I want to go back and fulfill my purpose. So where's that door? How do we do that?
Again, I mean, the door's at the top of the peak here. She motions without a hand, just the sheet kind of pokes a little bit. But again, I don't think you should go up there if you're not ready. I mean, do you all remember what your burden is? Do you remember why you're here? Oh, do you remember why? How? You died?
Died.
Personally, I think it has something to do with this knife in my back.
Yeah, that could be part of it for sure. Yeah. There was another flash of memory that you have, RC, when you remember that there was a group of men who had grabbed you, and one of them did, in fact, stab you in the back. Again, you don't remember the context of it. As you look around, the colors of your memory reveal that it is nighttime on a street. And you see that there are buildings around you. There is the gloomy haze of one of the lampposts of the street is illuminating this deed as it's done. And these three guys overpower you, and one of them, stabs you in the back. And as you fall, you kind of come back into the present with everybody.
Oh, well, there it is. It seems to me that I have been murdered. For what exactly, I cannot recall, but that's apparently why I'm here in this here purgatory.
Were you trying to guard a treasure and adventurers came in and broke and entered your home and then stole your stuff?
No, I was outside on the
Oh.
street. That seems awfully specific, though, to the situation. But it wasn't mine, I'm afraid.
Silgar, you have a brief flash of memory as well. In the water, as you've always known to be in the water, there is flickering light outside of its surfaces, its perimeter, the walls that keep you in, those clear glass walls, flickering of lights. You don't exactly know what torchlight is, but we would somehow know inherently that that's what it is. And then there is one, two, a third, fourth. Several eyes appear outside of the tank as they're looking at you. And as they all 9 of them kind of come in together in a semicircular pattern, start to draw nearer. There was a space between the 4 of them that opens up. This large, powerful eye looks directly at you, making eye contact in your memory. And as it opens its mouth to speak, you can't make out what he
I feel
says.
so happy about it. I'm just like,
Yes, and yeah, there are feelings of warmth and love that come out through the voice. It snaps you back into the present.
And that's who I need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Do you see now? Do you all understand?
Oh, they didn't see it.
Oh, but I don't know that.
Fishbowl, you gotta stop just yelling out into the ether. We're not sure what's going on over there.
The eyes with the floating blob with the eyes. It's the one that I have to go take care of.
Yes, the floating blob with the eyes. And I slowly turn back to Agnes and the doctor. Can
you feel as I'm like tapping your knife.
Fishbowl, what you Agnes, fair doctor, do any of you remember what has sent you here? To the ink.
Do the 2 of you try to remember?
Yes.
Okay. Agnes, you cut back into a memory as well, and you are sitting in a home by yourself, you know that. But it wasn't always just you here. There were others. There is lots of finely appointed art antiques around the room. You're sitting there. You're in nicer clothing than you're wearing now. You actually, conveniently, in this memory, are drinking tea. There are several cats that walk around on the floor. One of them comes up and sits on a small little end table next to you. And then you look at it. It looks at you. It does that slow blink that cats do when they're so comfortable around their owner. You look up, you take a sip of the tea. As you start to take a sip of the tea, your hand shakes, and then the tea falls. It crumples down to the floor, and you look up. And as you look up, you see a family portrait, much younger people than yourself. And as you look at that portrait, you come back to now, in the present.
I think as the vision fades, but the sort of teacup tumbles from my hand in the vision, I drop the china coffee cup that I'm holding.
Yeah. It bounces off the table. There is what you would expect to be a shattering sound because a china like this is very fragile, but it bounces and spins and bounces again, almost like it's made out of, in our world, we would know rubber or something. It bounces and shakes for a second, and you see that your barista here, she just reaches down and picks it up without hands, sets it back on the table, and as she sets it down, it's full again. Oh, no worries about that, dear. That kind of thing happens.
I'm not usually so clumsy. I think I was murdered as well.
Oh. My. That's rather dark. 2
It
murdered
wasn't a
people.
knife, though. It was poison for me.
Oh my. Well, I can assure you, hon, nothing here is poisoned. You'll be plenty fine if you drink what we've got brewing here. She looks to you, Doctor.
Sure.
Okay.
Think back on that, sure.
Mm-hmm. What kind of doctor were you?
I worked for the government in the early 1950s.
Okay.
Thought of research in metaphysics. There were other programs running parallel with mind control and mind reading and heavy uses of hallucinogenic substances, breathe serum creations. We were trying to run parallel with that research to not only preserve bodies for long periods of time, where we could potentially find immortality. Separate program. This one was focused on potential of time travel, whether the projection of our mind into space, time continuum, or to physically move our bodies into another point in time. That's what I was up to. A lot of money in that program. Cutting edge technology, you know.
Definitely. As you cut into your memory, you try to recall, there is a very sharp sound, breed, that fills all of your sound. There are flashing lights everywhere. You can tell that you are inside some sort of chamber. You're flicking and turning dials on a dashboard of sorts. Lights are flashing everywhere. The sound is just piercing and shrieking right now. As you're pushing these buttons, you can tell, you hear someone behind you, the core is getting critical, stop it, doctor, hurry. And you're trying to push buttons and stop whatever is about to happen, and you push a certain button and there's a hand that slowly closes over your wrist, and you look to your lab assistant, and the lab assistant is looking in horror into past the glass in front of you, into the room where the experiment was taking place. And as you look up, your eyes meet the gaze of yourself, a different age. And as you look upon each other, there was a big blinding light. And you snap back into the present.
Almost there. We were almost there. Yeah. It's we're almost there. Some paradox. Damn it, they were right.
I don't think he's doing very well. He's just saying the same words over and over now.
Yeah, that means those words mean nothing to me in that particular order. But whatever the reasons, we're all here now. So I suppose it's time we have to, if we want to get out, we have to get through, get over these so-called burdens.
All right, well, let's do that. I got stuff to do.
Easier said than done, my Piscine compadre. But
I don't know what you just said. But let's do that.
Well, if you all are really going to go up to the top of the peak, I really recommend you don't, because the Firebird is not really going to be liking visitors. Especially if you've just got here, you don't understand why you're here, you don't understand your powers. I mean, but hey, to each their own. There's a pathway, and the ghost points towards the mountain off in the distance. And as you all four look, you see the mountain is actually closer, and on the side of it there seems to be steps that are hewn out of the stone, something that would have been built by people to traverse up to the top of the mountain. There's actually a railing made out of wood with rope between it for like the part you would hold on to, that is around its outside perimeter as it cuts up into the mountain to go up higher. There's a path that will lead you up there, but again, I really think you should just take some more time, get to know yourselves, but there it is. Oh, you said something about some potions or something, didn't you? She says, looking at you.
Yeah, isn't that what this is? Magic potion?
Well, this is just restorative kappa. I mean, and you all notice if there was any sort of damage any of you took, it's all rejuvenated. Nice. You all feel full, healthy, hearty once more. She said, yeah, this is just a rejuvenative. This is just to make you feel better and to get you going. But we have other stuff. I mean, we have elixirs. I mean, I doubt you have any currency, but maybe
currency.
Yeah, you don't have any funds. You don't have any shards.
You know, where I'm from, I can remember that there is like a bunch of shiny stuff everywhere. I'm
Ooh.
sure that when I get back there, I could send you some of that.
Maybe, but I'm looking more for the shards that are here in ink.
I don't know
Yeah,
what a
you all
shard
have-
is.
A shard with a
Yeah,
D.
that's a lot. That's a whole different realm of what you speak of. And question: Are the potions like? Is there anything potion-esque in view?
No, there's your coffee mugs or tumblers sitting here on the table, the pitcher and everything. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be anything that looks like a potion or a treasure or an elixir, some sort of drink. No, nothing.
Where do we get these shards?
Well, you find them usually from encountering the world around you. Sometimes creatures have them; they drop them. Sometimes you could.
I run over by where we fought the crabs.
We're like racing
Okay.
each other over there.
As she's in mid sentence, the two of you go booking over there, and you do find that where the three crabs were, you don't know how you missed this beforehand. There are by each of where their three bodies had landed. Again, they had disappeared into smoke or something. Right where their bodies were. So one is floating in the air, the other two are on the ground, floating about an inch off of the ground. You find that there are small, about the size of, I would say, a golf ball, small little orbs of light that are floating.
That would be all you, because even though I try to grab it, my shadow hands are really not under my control right at the moment, and so I'm just like passing through them.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to grab. I'm gonna grab them and try to slyly pocket a few extra for myself. So say there's 6 or 8.
Okay.
I want to get like 3 of them and then split split
Okay.
I want extras and then split the remaining evenly through.
Okay. I'll say then that there are, because there was 3 foes, there are 6 little shards like this. So yeah, if you want to basically take it so that you take 2 before you split up amongst the 4 of you kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do this. You do that. Make a roll right now to determine what we'll see what the target will be for them to notice this happening.
And I have the skill. It's hide away small objects, but I just label it as sleight of hand.
Yeah, that's totally perfect. That sounds great to me.
All right, let's get chick.
You still have positive karma. If it was negative, it would have been positive anyway because of the cup of you guys' strength. So you do have positive karma, and you're going to have your skill. So you have a total of +3 on the roll.
All right, that's great. So that's an 11.
Nice.
An 11. Okay, let's have everybody go ahead and make a roll. And again, if there's anything that helps you notice or stay alert about something, you can go ahead and roll that. I do not need you to roll this, RC, because you're the one trying to hide it. Be the other 3 of you trying to make the roll, please. If you want,
7.
you can also choose to not. 7?
7.
6.
6?
14.
14. Silgar, probably because you're right there next to him, you see him pocket 2 of them while he's picking them all up, and he does seem to be sorting them out in his hand so that he's got the 4 all separated. So you do notice he does it, yeah.
Cool. Hey, thanks for holding on to those for me, because I don't really have pockets, I guess.
Blank stare. Just blankly staring.
Cool.
Not sure what you're talking about. I'm not too sure what you're talking about, but no problem. Let's head back over there to the rest of the group. But yeah, I run back over. All right, so I have 4 of these shards. I guess we'll split them evenly amongst the rest of us.
Yeah, so he gives
he's
each of you
holding on
one
to
of these
mine.
shards. Nice.
So technically, you're
What do
going to
you-
have 4 when you're done, RC.
Yeah. Yep. The 2 that you stole, the one that would be yours, the one that would be his. So
Right.
yeah, you have 4, and the other 2 each have 1.
I'm still pretending like I don't know. Like I don't,
Sure.
I mean, I'm not
And,
whipping things like numbers out, because
Right.
numbers.
The barista notices that you guys all have these shards now, does now, and she just smiles again without having any smile because she's a cartoon sheet. She says, "Well, that's not really enough to get anything right now, but that's a great start. Yeah, look for these through your journey as you walk around. You might be able to find them in places. You might get them. You might even just find them. So keep an eye out."
Oh, I've heard this before. We're to do what adventurers do. We're gonna go grind XP and get gold and stuff. I've heard this before.
We will need gold to rebuild the machine. So gold, yes, I'm in for this gold. If there is gold to be found, we should definitely begin seeking it.
Okay, well, there's the path. She motions to it again.
When they all walk away, I want to ask the barista, so what is available, may I ask?
Well, yeah, I've got a few things. Again, I don't really think you have enough there with one. I mean, you'd need at least 4 to be able to get something. But, I mean, I can give you an idea of what we have, sure.
That would be wonderful if you can be so kind.
Okay. So she brings you back over to the counter and she says, "Well, this here are the 4 that I have right now. This is an elixir of fire," she says, and she holds up. It looks like a small little coffee mug, but it has the liquid doesn't come out if you move it around or tip it out. It's like it has a lid, but there's no lid on it. She sets it down. No color, but it gives off an aura, like you can almost see shimmers, like very faint bits of light in it that are like an orangey yellow kind of color.
Smells like cinnamon. Mm-hmm.
It does, yeah, it does, yeah. And we have this one too. And then she puts it down. She goes, "This will make you faster and able to move around a little bit easier." And this one has like little silvery motes in it. She puts down a third one. This one will make you exceedingly lucky, and it's got little yellow. Well, yellow. It's again still monochromatic, but you somehow know it's yellow flecks in it. And this one, well, this is the best of the best. You can get 2 of these 3, or just this one with the 4 shards you're talking about. She slides it around. This one makes you fireproof.
Yeah, I'll take that fireproof potion.
Oh, okay, I'll take 4 shards.
And I take out the 4 shards. I look back real quick and just slightly take out those 4 shards and hand them over.
Okay. Yeah, she gives you an elixir of being fireproof. It is an elixir. I will tell you kind of outside of the game, a little bit of a meta. The elixirs are basically going to be, you can drink them. There's enough in this little container because as she takes the glass, she kind of pulls it. It turns like into a thermos. She hands it over to you. And there's basically 5 doses in it, I guess you could say, before it's
5
gone.
doses. Okay. All right.
And yeah, it's going to give you temporary immunity to fire attacks if you drink it.
Cool. All right. I got what I came for. Thank you for your patronage, and hope you have a wonderful afterlife.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Yeah, and I just walk away.
Good luck up there. I hope I see you again.
And as well. And I just trot up to the rest of the group. Well, she was unhelpful for absolutely. And I just keep on walking.
All right. So we're going to go adventure now, right?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna keep an eye out for some shards, anything under a rock or something. Just keep an eye out.
Nice.
Is this where we just walk around and start breaking everyone's pottery?
Right.
Yep.
That's
Definitely.
it. Got to farm the whole village. Yeah.
Right?
Boxes, pottery, everything.
Yeah. So you guys all get to the base of the stairs, and you can go up the stairs if you'd like. I'm assuming you all do. I don't want to assume. Do you
Well,
guys take the first steps of the journey up the mountain?
I mean, she said that we shouldn't go up there because we should get shards first. I mean, shards. Shards, that's what she called them.
Yeah.
I think you're like gold or something.
Maybe. That's probably what rings the best and truest to you, for sure. All right, so you all go up the mountain. You start climbing, and you climb for an indeterminate amount of time. It's weird. You've noticed as you've been here in the ink, the time that you've been walking is, or moving in general, like with the boat. At first, it seemed like you had been rowing for hours, and then it was instant. Now it seems like you're walking for forever. And when you feel like you've only walked a few steps, I'm sorry, when you feel like you've walked a big long distance, you look back, you've only gone a few steps up the side of the mountain. You turn back to each other, you're kind of confused. What's going on? You walk a couple more steps, you look back, you're 3/4 of the way up. So the time flow here is a bit different. Maybe that's an effect of the ink, you're not quite sure. But as you all get to what you would gather to be probably about, again, 3/4 of the way up the side of the mountain, you come to what looks to be a rope and wood bridge that crosses over a gap where there was a waterfall that cascades down the side and cuts across an open area in the rock. And as you four start to head towards the bridge, you suddenly hear a very loud, very large shriek from somewhere above. And you look up, and without seeing the full effect of it, because it's still a distance away, you will see that there is a bird-like shape that cuts through the air, flying in a way that doesn't quite look like regular flying. And as it does, you can see that there is fire that licks across the edges of its wings, and you would swear some sort of shifting, whirling faces in the feathers as it shrieks and goes out of view overhead. You know that you're close.
That must be the Firebird.
Good call.
Now, are we supposed
I
to
don't-
ask it to send us back? I can't remember what the person at the potion place told us.
Well, she told us not to fight it.
Oh. Okay.
But she also said that we should be ready when we get up to the top.
I'm so ready to be at the top.
All right.
Perhaps we could employ it. Perhaps it lend its services to the project.
What's your opinion, RC?
When I heard the shriek and saw the Firebird flew around and everyone was looking up, I looked down at that elixir and shaked it up a little bit. All right, and I put it away.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna just wait till the right time.
Okay. And you all cross the bridge. As you do, you see that the water at a part is kind of splashing down, and different bits of it are flying up over the bridge. You pass through its mist as you walk through, a little bit of a fog effect as it is moving around and dancing across the rocks on either side of the bridge. As you walk through that mist, you all have brief glimpses of your lives yet again. I would like each of you, in turn, based on your walking order through, give me a memory that you have of your life that reverts back to you in this moment. A positive memory, not one of your death or of your effect that brought you here into the ink, but of something else. I'll go ahead. I'll let whoever wants to go first choose. I won't put anybody on the spot. So who would like to give us, who's walking in the front? Who would give us a memory?
I'm behind.
I was gonna say, I think you're last, right? Because the dagger.
That makes sense.
Or the
That
knife.
makes sense. Yeah. Yep.
Agnes.
So mean. I was gonna pick you because it's our channel. So
Sure, Agnes will march onto the bridge, and she starts to get this flash of being outside a little bit, and she kind of looks around, and she seems to be in some sort of park, and there's a little Bichon dog next to her that sort of growls at everything else that it looks at, but she kind of picks it up and is, oh, Coco, you're such a good dog. And she, sets it back down, and they just go for a walk around this park.
I love it. You take in the bright, beautiful colors of the blue sky, the green of the grass, the different myriad of colors in the flowers as you walk with your dog. And yeah, you enjoy the beautiful sunlight. You feel its warmth on your skin. And as you pass through the rest of the mist, that weird, not quite cold, not quite warm effect of the ink comes back. All of you saw this as she passed through. Saw this glimpse of her in life. Who's next?
Doctor.
The doctor is at a dinner, very formal dinner. There are many tables. Everyone is wearing tuxedos and other fineries. He's shaking hands with a few stuffy-looking bureaucrats before he is sat at a table with an eye shot of President Eisenhower, feeling extra chuffed, having come this far in his career, feeling quite pleased with himself.
Yes. And in all of the crowd that is here, of every one of the hundreds of people that the president could potentially see and acknowledge, you see from across the way, his eyes meet yours. He raises a glass to you with with a respectful smile. And yeah, you come back into the ink as well. All the people and the tables fade away. Just the sound of the rushing waterfall behind you as you pass through its mists. Silgar, it's going to make you next because we already decided that your companion RC was last. So
as the water hits me, I'm reminded of being in my fishbowl. And the water rises out of the fishbowl in this like torch-lit and magical orb-lit room. And there's a floating blob that has this big central eye and a bunch of eye stalks that each have eyes at the end. And one of the eyes is like focused on the water that is like floating through the air with me in it, and the blob is smiling and talking, and I have no idea what it's saying, but like the way it's smiling and everything, it fills me with happiness that I know I'm doing my job protecting this creature. And it takes me around and shows me all of the new shiny things that it has taken from the adventurers who have tried to come into its lair and defeat it and steal its things as its horde continues to grow. And just this bonding time, kind of like father and son, but beholder and goldfish.
Definitely. And you hear his warm voice. You're not sure what he says. You've never really understood what he says.
Yeah.
But you do know that, yes, he loves you in this moment. He cares for you in this moment. And as Xanathar puts you back in your fishbowl, you are snapped back into the present as you walk through, and everybody saw this giant thing. To some of you, this would look like a monstrous beast, a creature, but not to Silgar. This is his dad, as it were. So yes, you have this moment of love. And finally, RC, you walk through the mist as well. What memory do we all see of your life?
So what you see is RC in a saloon bar area, just playing cards, laughing, having fun. His raucous camera pans over, and you can see that he's cheating.
Of course,
literal cards up his sleeves.
Yeah.
But he's just laughing, having a raucous, good old time. And just playing cards.
Yeah, absolutely. As you play the cards, your companions all, when you lay down the cards that you have, whether or not they were truly dealt to you or not, you lay them down, realizing that you win the hand. Ah, dang, damn it! They start slamming down their cards and everything. There's laughter as you rake in all of the money and laugh and kind of do like a hey to
Yeah.
somebody. And yeah,
Better
you
luck
come back.
next time, fellas.
Right,
As I played it.
And you come back into the present as well. Here in the ink, you all pass the mist, and you see that there is a short jaunt that goes up the remainder side of the mountain, up towards the very top of the peak. You can see that pulsing light from the passage beacon is above, a little bit brighter now that you're all closer to it. So this is your moment to try to get into the lair of the Firebird. What is your approach style? How do you guys want to do this?
We're about to walk into the lair, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I think for a moment. This is so not like me. Everyone, before we continue on our journey, just in case, I'd say it'd probably be best for us to, have one last drink, in hopes that this all goes well. And I just just walk around, and I kind of just grab like fish bowls, like I just like the back of his head, and just pour. There you go. Just have a little sip of that, and
Potent.
I just share all. It's 5, right? So there's 1 extra. So I just share 4 of the 5. 4 or 5 doses of the fireproof elixir with everyone. Let's hope this isn't our last. And then I just say that 1 just in case it wears off before anything. At least I'm protected.
It lasts for like 1 round.
At least,
Right.
yeah.
1 single attack. That's
Right,
it.
for the next round.
That's it.
I just think we should I have no burdens left. Do you have burdens left? I just gotta get home.
I'm still coming to terms with what I left
My
behind.
burdens are totally laid down. Let's do this.
Maybe still coming to terms with what I left behind and what that entails for
Well, do you need to talk about it?
old RC. Not particularly with present folk.
Oh. Do you want to go talk to the Firebird about it?
I mean, that's possibly what we're about to go do, is it not?
Oh,
Anyway, let's move on. Onward and upward and all of the rest.
Are you two okay? And I'll be like, try to fins up you. Fins up for yes. Fins down for no.
Well, I don't have any fins, but I still feel like I don't have all my memories back. And so I don't know how to go about getting them, but I don't know about a burden.
Well, we'll figure it out. What about you, good old doctor? Still think we're hallucinating?
No, it's clearly evidence that the machine worked. Just paradox. And so at some point, I came back to myself, and of course, if you see self, it breaks the continuum of time. Do you work for the Russians?
Those words
Fishbowl?
mean... Oh, fishbowl.
No,
Is that a project that they're working on?
I don't really try to rush through anything. I try to really think it through.
They're advanced in their mutagens. Is that what that was?
Not really sure what that is, but sure. Absolutely.
You all hear that similar screech from above yet again. Don't see anything fly by this time. The screech this time is unbearably louder, almost as if the firebird is so close you would swear it was right on top of you.
Talking with this thing is not going to be pleasant.
I've dealt with unpleasant tops in my time, so maybe hopefully we'll be able to communicate effectively.
All right, well, let's go. Let them know that we're ready to go back.
I can try screeching at it because I'm pretty good at screeching.
I heard that earlier. That was amazing.
That was some pretty good screeching.
Yeah.
I must say.
All right, so the four of you make the final descent up to the top of the mountain. As you do, you cut up the last bit of those mists, which are those clouds you saw that were clinging around its top from before. You get up to the top in the end of the walkway, these stones that are cut out of the side of the mountain. And when you get there, you look into a wide expanse of what looks to be the top of the mountain is flat, a plateau, as it were, made of rocky crags. There is a section in the center that is a little bit recessed, like it goes down inside, and you see that there was a massive bird's nest built here. All of the twigs and the brambles that have been used to build it are all burnt and scorched. You can see that there's pieces of different clothing and fabrics that are mixed in. All of this is still in the monochrome color. You can tell, though, that if you were able to see color, it would be all different kinds. Different various, this might be a piece of a shirt, this might be a tablecloth, this might be a sail of a boat, mixed in with all of the different twigs and branches. And you see that in the center of this nest is a spire of sorts. It looks almost like, for lack of a better description, almost like a pile of rocks that are piled up. They go about 15 or so feet into the air, and directly at the top is a glowing portal, a opening in the air here that looks like a bright, shining white light, and it continues to pulsate, like you have seen the passage beacon pulsating this entire time. Again, it is welcoming. It wants you to go to it, but it is a little bit daunting too. Are you ready to pass over? Maybe time will tell. You don't see any sign of a bird, however. Seems that the four of you are alone up here for now.
Whoever did that is really good at stacking things. I used to try to do this with the rocks that were at the bottom of my house, and I would only get like a couple of them, and then they just fall over.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing up here?
This is supposed to be the door back.
Right. Well, let's do it. And I'll start walking that way.
You start walking down into the nest. Do all of you go, or I don't want to assume.
I mean, for science, we should just like send Fishbowl in there.
One,
and
see what happens.
I'm not the scientific type, but I do agree with this theory. Is that what you call it? I'll agree for now.
How about you, Agnes? What are you doing?
I'll agree with the good doctor.
Okay. Silgar, you watch as the three humans stand and watch you walk down into the nest by yourself. You take a few steps down and below, and there is a crunching sound as you walk across the brambles and stuff that make up the nest. You look around and you can see that intermingled, into the different branches you can see are some of the pebbles and stones that you would find at the bottom of your home are intermixed without it. The right kind of scaling to this form that you have now. And as you approach, you can see that, yes, these boulders do seem to be made up of that. They pile up. You could try to climb up it. It might be difficult in your shape, but you can try to.
Yeah, I'm swimming inside of this body that's trying to do things. And I'm just going to try and control it the best I can.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll a 2d6. If you have any abilities that let you do anything athletic or climb or move or anything like that, you can.
I have swimming.
Okay.
Which I'm going to say that probably doesn't. Do I have karma, though?
Yeah, you have positive karma still.
Okay. Well, that's not great. 7.
You start to climb up, and yeah, you're just so unused to this body of yours. You just can't get good grip. You're not really sure how to do it. You're not sure how these people do this with hands. It's so
Right.
weird. If only you could swim, it would be so much easier. And as you get a couple of rocks up, you slide down, land on your feet at the base of it. You hear through the air again. All four of you look, and you see the giant firebird approaching. Just as it was detailed to you, its wingspan has got to be 100 feet or longer. This thing is enormous. A huge bird that seems to have fire looking across the edge of its feathers. There are faces of souls that swirl and dash about within the feathers. There is a bright, burning, gleaming source of heat that erupts out of its chest where its heart would be, partially exposed skin and even a rib cage beneath. And as the firebird approaches, you all have to act fast. What are we all doing? We get our combat mode going here. Once again, we have 4 different actions we can do in combat. You can attack, you can use a power, you can try to shield yourself, or you can try to hex your enemy and affect the outcome of the fight. So let's all type in what we're going to do right now and see what happens here. When you have your thing up, let's do a thumbs up. I can't get this word typed in. 3, 4. Ooh, Sid's thinking about it. He's getting into the moment here. You good?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's hit it. Reveal. Okay. So let me make sure. So we've got the we've got the good doctor wants to attack. We have both the Firebird and RC and Silgar want to try to defend themselves, and Agnes is going to open up with a power. I love it. I love it. So let us do this. Let's resolve the attack. So the attack is going to be, it looks like just well, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Nobody's attacking, so we're going to do hexing and shielding. So with the hex ability, you're going to choose an opponent who is going to basically be the person that you are going to try to knock down their karma. Good doctor. I assume this is going to be the Firebird, but I would hate to assume such a thing.
Right.
So, is that the opponent you're going to pick?
Yeah. I mean, I am thinking about the potential communist here, but I think it's useful later. Useful later. I'm sure he'll give his information to the people that be. But the bird, I think, is our target here. So
Absolutely.
It's 2d6,
yeah. Yeah, you make sure it works. Yeah, but otherwise, 2d6, and your karma is positive, so 2d6 plus.
Oh,
so you're going to roll basically 3d6.
3d6. Total of 11.
Yeah, more than fine. All right, so, and the reason why you have to roll is because this is a greater fiend. This is way stronger and more powerful than those weird crab people you attacked. So some of your powers just might not openly work at all on this thing, you'll discover. So I'll flip over the karma card. It's at negative karma. Good to know. It's going to try to shield itself, which means that it would take half damage if that was an attack. That wasn't an attack, so no problem. We have both you and, both Silgar and RC are going to shield themselves as well. Doesn't really affect anything right now because there's no attack. And Agnes, you're going to try Screech at it, I assume, with your power? Okay.
Yes.
So let's
Agnes
go ahead.
means to communicate with it, but if it,
Oh.
it's going to probably do if it hits and does damage. She doesn't, that's not what she's trying to do, but
Yeah.
it's going to, if it happens.
Okay.
12.
12, okay. You screech out at it, similarly to the way it screeched, but yours sounds more like a person yelling as opposed to a bird screeching. And you yell out, and you see it in its flyby, it kind of just does a weird, like it's confused for a minute, and it shrieks, "You're not ready!" And it continues its flyby, as you swear it said you're not ready as part of that screech. So, second round, let's go ahead and let's pick our actions yet again.
Pretty much I'm just standing there waving at it because I'm waiting for it to come down and talk with us.
Yep.
Should my action come to be, it's all the shadow, much less my spirit.
Yeah. Okay. We're all good.
1, 2, 3, 4. I clicked on
All right.
more.
Let's hit it. Okay, we've got everybody is shielding themselves except for, once again, the good doctor is going to try to bring its defenses down a little bit, and it is going to attack. So let's resolve the attack, shall we? So you see the Firebird as it continues its arc. It goes up into the air, and as it does, it stops, it hovers,
Oh, cool.
swirls its wings one more time, and as it does, there are almost like meteors that streak out of its wings, a barrage that streaks down towards the nest, slamming into the ground, slamming into the rocks, slamming into all of you. It's going to roll to see if it hits you all of your defense here. So this is going to be its falling star ability. This is an attack. It's going to roll 2d6. Its karma is currently negative because of what the doctor did, and he's got hex going on right now too, so we'll see if that affects the next round. Oh boy. Okay, so the karma die was a 5, so that's -5.
Nice.
One of the dies was 5, and its attack, so basically it's going to attack you all with a 6. However, it gets a +3 because of how strong it is, so it has a 9 to attack you all. Who does that hit their defense of? Oh, is that everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. And the barrage streaks down, slamming down on all of you. It's going to do a number of fire damage. Now, granted, you all have fire potion on. I'll remind you. But it is going to do fire damage equal to 18.
Well, that doesn't seem to do much. Very cool. Very cool light show.
Yeah.
All right.
You said it's fire immunity that we have currently, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, large balls of fire streak down out of its wings, slamming down and buffeting into. They do hit you guys, but because you took the potion, you feel the flicker, the fire licks across you, and you see almost like water getting lapped up off of you, burnt away into steam. You see the potion, and it is only against one attack as it goes away. You all are safe from that attack, so you do not take the fire damage of 18, nor do you take the burn tag of 3. So you could tell that was powerful. If you didn't have that thing, you all would be in some severe danger. It continues its arc. Now, again, some of you shielded yourselves, but because of the fire immunity, we don't need to worry about that. Let's go ahead and have you roll for your hex, if we could, good doctor, to see if that affects it next round.
Hex.
See, it's all about. See, good thing we had that lucky drink. That
Right,
taxi,
yeah.
it was.
I mean, as far as Silgar is concerned, that was a completely cool illusion that just happened.
Right.
So I'm just like laughing and clapping.
Yeah, woo!
Would it take my action to take that last sip of that fireproof potion?
Yeah, because we're playing narratively, yeah, you can just choose to do that because there's not really a combat action that allows you to drink something or something like that. So we could just say, yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So you're gonna drink the last dose of that.
Yes.
Okay.
That
was your-
pretty scary?
13.
What was your hexing, Doctor?
13.
13. Okay, yeah. Again, your hex goes off. Its karma is still going to be negative for the next round, which is good. Okay, cool. So then it is going to be another series of movements. Let's go ahead and make everybody's what they want to do.
Like, since it's not really doing anything to stop us, obviously, can I start walking up towards the door while I'm
Shielding?
Yeah.
Or something? Yeah, we can have you do that. Sure.
Okay.
Thumbs up if you've got your ability ready. All right, let's hit him.
Wait.
Oh, we're going already.
It's okay.
Alrighty, so we've got Silgar is going to shield himself while trying to move up, as we mentioned. The Firebird is going to try to attack again. We're going to have Agnes is going to try to shield. RC is going to try to shield. And good doctor, you are just like, no, I don't think so. Snapping those fingers out of the way. So
I'd like to, while shielding, try to separate from the rest. Try to spread out a
From the
little
group?
bit so we're not not a big
All in
group.
one area. Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. So let us resolve the attack. So now it's going to be doing something different because that specific ability, luckily, it needs to recharge for a certain amount of time because it's so powerful. So what it's going to do is something different. It's going to go ahead. It's going to do its screech ability. Let me get to that. Again, it has a negative because of the karma. Way to go, good doctor. The negative of the karma is a 6, so it is going to 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is going to be 7, minus the 6 from the karma is a 1. So yeah, it streaks out. There is shaking amongst all the sticks and the rubble and the rocks, and that thing that you're climbing up, Silgar, starts to shake and topple as if it's going to fall over.
Oh, not
So
again.
what I'm what I need to do is, although you are shielding, it wasn't trying to hit you specifically, so you don't take any sort of damage from that. But I need you to go ahead and make some sort of roll, just to make sure you don't fall off or anything like that
Okay.
while you're shielded.
Karma counts?
Yep.
That's good. 13?
13. You continue to climb. You get about halfway up the spire that leads to the doorway, the passage beacon, and you get about halfway up. And it continues to fly by. And let's have good doctor go ahead and make a roll to see if the hex remains. You've been rolling pretty good, so
10.
10. This time, you are continuing to focus, trying to affect the battlefield, but this time you notice that when you are trying to do that, the Firebird, it's more prepared, it's ready for this. It sees that your ally is moving off on the way of itself, so it actually swings over with its flight, moving over in that direction. It looks like the karma really wasn't affected properly this time, but it is going to kind of split the difference between whatever. So it's basically, at this point, if it does attack, it looks like it's going to attack just RC. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's go ahead and pick our actions again, everybody.
Continuing to climb.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's ready? Let's give it a thumbs up. I love it. So several people are typing. Okay, and let's hit it. Okay. Looks like everybody is shielding themselves except for the doctor and the Firebird, who are going to attack yet again. So let's adjudicate Doctor's attack, because like I said, I like to do the PCs first. So Doctor, how are you attacking it? What are you doing? How does your shadow come to your aid?
It's up in the sky, right?
It is, yep.
So
But you mentioned
can't
you have a
hit it.
gun. You mentioned that your shadow has a firearm, so yeah, you could try to hit it if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it. Going to shoot it.
Cool.
Bang. Nice. So this is also 3d6.
Yep.
12.
Because your karma's positive. 12 hits its defense exactly. So you're going to go ahead and hit it.
Oof.
What is your damage on that?
D6 plus 3.
Okay.
8.
8. Okay. So hitting it with for 8 stamina damage, its stamina is going to go down to 42.
Hooray!
Oh,
The
sometimes
bosses
there's
in this-
things that I don't want to know, and that was one
The
of them.
bosses, the bosses in this game are pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
You're all going to see. So, but that's good to know. Every little bit helps. I love it. I love it. Okay. So that's what it does, and then it is going to adjudicate its attack. Now, it goes flying, as I mentioned, over to RC. As it does so, it's going to try to. We have the attack action, not a power, because the type of fiend that this is. When it attacks, it has certain powers that can also be used as attacks. That's how it did the firebolt thing, and that's why it has to recharge, because it used it that way. But this is just a good old fashioned. It's going to fly down and just try to snap him and bite him. So. We're going to roll 3d6 because its karma was not affected by the good doctor last time. And against you, RC, is going to be a 12.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. You're going to come down, and as it comes down, and its jaw, its beak snaps into you. There is burning and fire sensation as it claws into you. You ignore that, but as it bites through you, as its jaws come together, you feel the jaws close and connect over your sternum. You're going to take 15 points of damage.
Is this at half for shielding?
Yeah.
You were shielding? So
Yeah, I
yes,
would.
that is good. That is going to be halved down to 7.
Yes.
Does that matter?
I'm at 0 now. So what
Okay.
does that do? What does that
And
do?
you all see that as the Firebird snaps into RC, much like those crab things, he disappears in a puff of smoke.
Did the bird just send him home?
More on that later. So let's do the next round. For this round currently, RC, you will not have an action to pick, but we will touch on that in just a second. So let's have the other 3 of you pick an action.
Do I need to do anything to finish
Oh
climbing?
yeah, let's have you climb. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I forgot you. Thank you very much for reminding me of that. Yeah, let's have you climb. Same thing as before, just a 2d6 plus the 1d6 karma.
13.
13, yeah. You get up to the top, you get to the very top, and the rocks are kind of like doing like this kind of thing. You're swaying a little bit, but the passage beacon is right there. You start holding your hand out towards it, trying to get to it. And then, if you're ready, thumbs. Okay, let's reveal. Okay. So
Look at
we
all
have
the
that.
attacks.
That's it. We have that.
Yeah.
Bilgar's who try to shield himself, which I think is a very good idea because he's right there, and everybody else is attacking. Again, let's adjudicate PCs first. Let's have Agnes go first right now. Agnes, how are you attacking? The purse is coming out again?
Yeah,
Nice.
basically.
Yeah.
10.
10, okay. You're going to swing out the purse, and it actually phases through some of the Firebird's feathers, doesn't quite make contact with it, but it just kind of doesn't seem to be too bothered by you. Good doctor, what are you doing? As you bring the gun down out of the sky and level it towards the... Or you can come up and melee attack it, that's fine too.
Keep shooting it. That is a miss. I think, right?
You were a little choppy, would you say?
Yeah, really good.
Sorry, that's a 9.
A 9, okay. You fire out. There's another shot of the pistol, and it rings out, and it just passes right through this creature. As I mentioned, its rib cage is partially exposed. It goes right between some of its ribs and out through the back. There's a little puff of feathers, and as they puff out, there's sparks that sizzle off of them. Doesn't really do anything all that extraordinary, unfortunately.
Carson
then-
is.
Yes, it's going to attack. It's going to attack you, Agnes, because you are right there. No one tried to hex it, so it doesn't have any negative. To attack you, Agnes, is going to be a 14.
That'll hit.
Okay, and as it turns, snaps down onto you as well. Because you were attacking, you don't get a shielding bonus. You take 15 points of damage.
And I wisp away.
Oh no!
Yes, bites into Agnes, and she as well, leaving you two back up on the top. Silgar, you are on the top, reaching for the thing. You said you shielded yourself. Didn't matter; didn't really fully attack you. You are reaching for the passage beacon. Please roll 1d6 for me. Do you have any skills do you think that would aid to your belief in yourself or anything like that?
So I have Stag Alert, Comprehending Intentions, and Swimming. What do you think?
I don't think that'll give you a bonus right
Yeah.
here. So just roll a d6 for me.
Shall I go Bouncy Fan Roll Dice Rainbow or Bouncy Fan Roll Dice? I think this is a color they don't make anymore, actually.
It's got to be that one.
Okay.
It's got. Plus, that looks more monochromatic, which is what ink is focusing on. So let's do it.
I mean, a 5 is not terrible.
Okay. You reach up onto the. You reach up onto the passage beacon, and as your fingers touch it, it jolts you, and you fly back off of the little spire that you're on, the pile of rocks, and slam down into the nest right next to the Firebird. It finishes ripping its jaw free from Agnes, looks around and sees you there. Its eyes get beady and wide. It is expectant of more damage, more attack. Elsewhere, on a beach nearby, kind of, RC, you come to. Looks like you did at the beginning of your journey, only maybe 3 hours ago, and you will see that you are on the same beach where you and your allies were. There is a pulsing of that energy that is right behind you. You look up and you can see that distant mountain where you all had climbed. You can see the pulse beacon is still flashing. You can also see that there's something else going on up there. You can just make out the very small details of the battle that still rages.
Well, it seems to me that I have lost in my endeavors. Guess I was not ready to ascend, as it were. And I just sit there for a moment, and just, well, what to do?
All right. The next round will be again. Deb, you will not have an action to roll. Civ, you will not have an action to roll. It will be Jeremy and John. Please go ahead and pick your actions that you want to do. And we will go. When you're ready, thumbs up it. Let's see, John's ready, Jeremy's ready, and enter.
And I look up at it and I'm all like, do you need shards to get through?
I love it. All right. So it is going to use a power. Silgar is going to try to hex it, and the good doctor is going to try to attack it. So good doctor, go ahead and make your attack. Let's see what happens here. Try to hit its defense of 12.
15.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. What is your damage on your firearm?
D6 plus 3.
Yes.
That is a 9.
9. Okay. It goes down to this. I can't do math in my
It's
head.
super dead.
Right?
So dead.
So dead.
It doesn't have to
So
go to
dead.
0. It just has to go to like an odd or even number.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
right.
has to lose 1 hit point. That's all. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You shoot it this time. You do connect. There is a gout of embers that out of the wound, and it throws its head back as you hit it. It's going to attack. It's going to use its power now. So its power, it is going to throw up off the ground because now, unfortunately, its big, awesome falling star ability has recharged. So, gonna roll to hit your guys' defenses. Oh boy. It says Gen Con, not 6, but
Oh, damn. Nice.
Well, I don't think Gen Con's a
I
number.
mean-
Pretty sure
I
Gen Con's
mean-
not a number.
If you're
That's
gonna
it.
go big, right?
that's it. So 21 to hit both of you.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a barrage of the meteors that streak down at you. Neither one of you were shielding, so you're both going to take. This one he gets rolled. This isn't just the 15. You're both going to take 17 points of fire damage. The barrage hits you
Nice.
all. And how do you guys look?
Like wisps of smoke.
All right. And Silgar, as the barrage comes down, you look up and you reach towards that passage beacon one more time. You thought you were ready. You thought you could get back to Xanatar. You thought, and then you wake up on the beach with your arm extended. Seconds after Agnes, you have reappeared. The 4 of you back on the beach where this all started. The passage beacon at that far distant mountain continues to pulse. And then there's another voice you hear behind you. Oh, are yous back already? I told you yous wasn't ready to go be attacking the fiends and getting out of here.
I just had the weirdest dream. And you were there? And you were there? And you were there.
Not a dream, Fishbowl. Not a dream.
Yeah.
Paradox. It was paradox.
Also,
What's-
I'm not sure if I think it was a paradox as well, whatever that word. I'm slipping into 13. Why?
Hey, I got such a great voice. Why could you not want
Yeah,
to
I mean-
slip into this, my friend?
Yeah, I don't. It's infectious, you know. You just gotta do it. My friends, the Fishbowl and the good doctor. One, I don't think it was a dream, and two, not sure what a paradox is, but I'm pretty certain it was not there.
Well, yeah, you all are not here, and oh, sorry, you all are here. You all didn't make it to the passage beacon, but this isn't the end. As you see, you alls is not dead. You alls is still here, and here's the thing, right? Death is but just the beginning of the steps down here. Your actual death has already happened. When you die down here, you might get another chance to find your way back to the beacon. You got some of the shards that float around here. You can use some of that energy to make yourself stronger, better, faster. You can evolve into something more akin to take on the fiends. But you're not ready now, but you got time. You've got time. So you need anything else, you let me know. And otherwise, I'll see you kids around. And he turns to start to walk away.
Hey, 13.
Yo, he says, turning around.
We met a lady who gave us really awesome magic potions, and she said that you were really terrible at this.
Well, my ex-wife would say that, but it's whatever. We just gotta do what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Candace is a little bit of a hard case, but you know what? We'll get past it, okay?
I just wanted to let you know in case there was like something that you can do to, be better and reach your. What is it we're trying to do again?
Trying to get to the beyond is what I was.
Right. What Stabby said.
He just looks at you guys. Man, everybody's got an opinion. Okay, Mr. Philosophical. I will talk to you later. And he turns and he walks off. And as he does, he just disappears too, leaving the four of you there at the beach. In these last moments together, before your journey begins anew, what do the four of you want to do or say in these last little moments here together of today's session?
I'm gonna look for more shards.
Okay. You start looking around your small little 100-foot island and don't find any shards, unfortunately.
Nope, it was worth a try. So what do you all say we give this another shot and try to resolve burdens as they were?
Yeah, I mean, I think I slipped or something and I fell off the top there. And so I'm totally down to go try it again.
You were so close when you were up there.
Thank you. And I really liked that bag that you hit it with. That was cool. I don't really understand what you're doing with the thing that makes noise in your hand.
That there's a fire pistol, if you looks a bit different than what I'm used to, but yeah, seems real nice.
Standard issue.
And so as the four of you, once strangers, come together here in this moment again to ready yourselves to begin the second leg of your journey, because here in the afterworld of Ink, death is merely the beginning. And each time that you die, you will gain knowledge, power, and know-how to not make the same mistakes again as you try to lay down your burden. And as you all step towards the edge of the beach and get into the rowboat and turn to make your way towards the island, towards the key that perhaps will mean the end of your journey, we will close off tonight with a journey that will soon be written in ink.
Oh.
So, awesome. Thank you very much for playing, everybody. This was an absolute blast. Everybody at home, thanks for watching. This is a fun game. This is the second time I've gotten to play it and run it, and I think it's really cool. I really love the work that Snowbright Studio does. This is a cool book. If you want to get your own copy, I'll tell you where you can do that here in just a minute. But first, let's go ahead. Let's walk around. Well, not walk around. Let's go around, rather. Maybe swim around it for Jeremy's character. Let's go around. Let's remind everybody who we are. Please, if you have something to tell, a link, something you're working on, let these kind folks know, because if they're anything like me, they fell in love with you right now, and we're ready to see more. So let's go ahead and let's start with, I don't know where we're at on the screen here, but let's start with John, with this very spooky guy in the back. Is this your character? Is this his shadow?
It's just AI.
I love it. It looks so rad.
Yeah, he's so cool. So cool. Scientist man in time. Ghost science time, I think is what the feat was. Ghost science time. I'm John.
Science.
I feel like
Weird
that's
science.
either a new Nickelodeon show or the name of our
Yeah.
next game.
Oh, I
Go
like
science time.
Yeah, go science.
I like, you know what? I like both options.
Right?
Nickelodeon,
It's like,
we're cool. We could do voiceover too.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely.
Should have done like Professor from Gilligan's Island, but a ghost.
that would have been
Professor.
sweet.
Yeah,
That would have been sweet.
Nice.
Anyway, I'm John, and you can find me on the interwebs. It's mostly the dog, though, so you can find my dog on
Who's
the internet. He's adorable. At Distillosauros Rex on Instagram. There's occasional stuff on there about stuff I'm doing, but it's mostly the dog because he's way cuter than I am, and way more interesting in his adventures in the wilds of Ireland. So go watch him play in the river. It's very cute.
Well, we definitely will. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for bringing life with the good doctor. He was a lot of fun to see in action today. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sid playing RC. Hey, buddy.
Yes, hey, Sid. You can find me on socials at _Sundance Sid. Instagram, Twitter, and then TikTok, just Sundance Sid. And anywhere and everywhere, I pop up everywhere sometimes. Today I was playing Ferdinand, Richard Cunningham, Dubois, or just RC for short. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun today.
Nice.
Enjoyed the system.
Excellent. Appreciate you saying that. So much fun, Sid. I'm sure we will see you again very soon because you do a lot here, and we're always happy to have you here. So thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I got a drawer for myself. I got a corner that I caught. I live here basically.
Just keep on going. Yeah. Exactly. Deb, thank you so very much for bumping on here with us before today. This was awesome. You rock. I love playing with you. So tell everybody else what they can see do more stuff.
Thanks, Kev. This game has been so fun. I feel like our group would be like doing the Sisyphus boulder thing for a couple rounds
Right.
of Afterlife before we
Yep.
actually learned anything.
Yep.
But what a blast. I'm Deb. I am here on Wednesdays for the next couple of weeks with Jeremy and Kev playing Eastera with Miko, and such a blast. Check it out. I'm also on Instagram at dsweats, mostly the cats that didn't interrupt our game today for once.
I was shocked.
So I know they're both sleeping, but yeah. Thanks, Kev. This is so fun.
Thank you. Yeah, this was awesome. I can't wait to play with you again on Wednesday because our characters they like each other so much, and it's gonna be great. I can't wait to see it again. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate it. Jeremy, the man, the myth, the legend, you have so much to talk about. So go ahead. What all are we doing else on the channel coming up here soon?
Okay, so I'm Jeremy, and
Yes.
Silgar is trying to figure out what a pair of doxes look like, let alone one dox. So
Right.
that's going to take a while for him to figure out. Meanwhile, what do we have coming up? Wednesday, we do have the Eastera game at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow I'll be on at 3 p.m. doing some miniature Mondays through Hero Forge. You can join me for that. It's about an hour long, creating minis here on, and just listening to me babble. I
good.
think that's it until
That's
July.
it. Yeah, in the immediate future. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So why don't you come over and follow me on Twitter at WHPubs or here on Twitch at Wanderers Haven.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jeremy, thanks for letting me run this, my friend.
Absolutely. Thanks for running it.
Yeah, this was another example of We Get to Play. Today, our game of choice being Ink, a game by Snowbright Studio. As I mentioned before, you can actually get your own copy of Ink if you head on over to snowbrightstudio.com/ink. You will find it there. You can download a free character sheet to see what's going on. They have this really cool game, nice little digest style. I love these new smaller books. They're really cool, going in a backpack and stuff. Really cool book with this. It's got everything you need to play. And also you can see some other stuff there too, like special dice that you can help maintain your karma with your regular rolling, and also some other bonus stuff. But yeah, I can be found on the socials at KevRan Games. Where I run games. I like to do this. I love doing this. I am super obsessed with RPGs And here at Wanderers Haven, we do all kinds of fun stuff. So, yeah, we got some different games coming up. Yeah, we'll be there on Wednesday, Deb, Jeremy, and I, as we play through co-producer Miko's World of Eastera, which is an ancient world, high fantasy. We are super high-level characters. I think I dispelled spells, or I'm sorry, counterspelled spells 3 times last time, and Deb, like, super nuked the guy. It was awesome. Jeremy, you know, he talked to some peasants, but, you know, somebody's got to.
Right.
But we got great characters, great fun voices. Jeremy sounds like Sean Connery as a Birdman. And I'm the most annoying bard wizard. I'm not bard. Wow, I'm the most annoying elf wizard you will ever meet. The party loves me. They want to kill me so bad. But this was so much fun. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you soon. Until next time, take care of yourselves. And please join us next time when we get to play. So good night, one and all. Thank you so much.
Bye.